supposed to look at the camera or something when you're introducing, or
You look wherever you want. We started already. Welcome to the CatFiveBoys podcast. I'm your host Matt, and thank you for joining me for our 30th episode. See, I should have known this before, but I'm pretty sure it's our 30th episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If it's not our 30th episode, it's probably our 31st. It's definitely not our 29th. Almost certain. If it is our 29th, then shit, I'm just a bad host. What can I say? But thank you so much for joining me on the 30th episode of the CatFiveBoys podcast. We really appreciate you spending your time here. You could be spending it anywhere else, listening to anybody else, doing anything else, you know what I mean? But you're listening to me for some reason, who knows? But you're here, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we have a great episode today for you in store. I guess I kind of want to do... Let's go with a little bit of the I guess the housekeeping of the show before we get started with the show itself and introductions and everything like that. So first and foremost, again, welcome to the CatFiveBoys podcast. Thank you so much for joining me here and joining my guests as well. Disclaimer: the views expressed on the CatFiveBoys podcast by the individual guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the CatFiveBoys podcast. Further disclaimer: the topics we speak on during the show can sometimes get a little bit dark, a little bit sensitive. If that's not your thing, this might not be the show for you. Go watch Coco Melon, put that on. You might actually like that a little better. We have clips. If you can't catch the full shows and you want to get some of the best bits, we have clips accounts. We have that on YouTube Shorts. If you're watching here on YouTube, just go to YouTube Shorts. We'll have it right there. We have it on TikTok and on Instagram, so you guys can go check that out. And that's going to be, all of that is going to be at CatFiveBoys. So all of our social medias, the same way it's written in everything, CatFiveBoys. So go check that out. If you guys want to get some of the best bits of each episode, and you don't want to sit down through all the 2-hour shows and stuff like that. Although you should, but either way. If you want to be a guest on the show, we would love to have you on. If you want to debate with somebody who's been on the show already, like we had with Aubrey Kana and from Dirt We Grow. They came on, Aubrey kind of requested to debate her specifically, and we set it up, and we had a great debate here. Or maybe you disagree with something I said, or maybe something I believe, like I don't think women should be able to vote. Maybe you disagree with that. You want to come on and discuss it, debate it, whatever the case may be. Or maybe you just want to come on and have a conversation about something cool that's going on in your life or something you're interested in. I would love to have you on. Feel free to DM us on Instagram at CatFiveBoys. Your name, your age, where you're from. Or actually, let's save that for further on in the conversation. But just your name and kind of what you want to talk about, what you're interested in, and we will schedule you as soon as it's most convenient for both of us. It's gonna be on Instagram at CatFiveBoys. Just send us a DM there. That works. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Drop us a 5-star rating on Spotify and on Apple Podcast, please. We're starving out here, man. We're starving. Not food-wise, as you can tell, but views-wise. We're starving, guys. Okay, anyways. So, again, we love the comments as well. Keep the comments flowing. Even if it's hate comments, you want to dunk on me or something, I would love that too. Listen, that boosts my ego, all right? Even though it shouldn't, but it does. Make sure to subscribe as well. We post every single Wednesdays and Fridays. At least I try to. We get there as much as we can. I stream on Twitch. If you want to catch me on Twitch, we do TikTok invasion, so we get on TikTok and we go on the live streams and we debate against all those crazy people who have crazy ideas, and we destroy it, absolutely dismantle their belief systems, and replace it with something better, because that's what we do. That's what we do on there. We play some games on there as well. We have some fun. So if you want to check that out, that's on Twitch at Codename Soap. The link to that will be in the description down below. Every single Saturday at 6 p.m. At least I try to. So there is that as well. If you want to check out our merch store, I don't like to call it merch because it seems a little more important than that, but I guess for lack of a better term, we sell rosaries. So we have a rosary shop down in the description down below. Rosaries, again, something very important to my faith, to our faith, because he's also a Catholic. Is you guys will get to know that later on in the show, but something very important to our faith. Rosaries, we sell them. If you guys want to check them out, check out the store, see what we got there. We greatly appreciate it. You don't have to buy nothing, but if you want to check it out, that would be awesome. And give us some feedback on that as well if you have any. That'd be really great. With that being said, without further ado, let's get right into the show. Before we get started with the introductions, I want to talk a little bit about the status or the state of the show and kind of what we've been doing. So I had on a gay Christian Trump supporter pretty recently, Or you know what? Actually, what am I doing? Let me start with the introductions. Welcome to the CatFiveBoys podcast. Holy shit. Welcome to the CatFiveBoys podcast. We are here today, the 30th episode with you. You should feel absolutely honored because it is an honor to be here. But yeah, give the people your name, age, location, occupation, and yeah, we'll start with that, I guess.
All right. Thanks for having me. This is close enough, right? Or do you?
I think that should be close. Yeah, that should be close enough.
Close enough. All right.
Close enough.
Well, thank you
You
for
got to
having
deep up
me.
the mic or nothing.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Let's see. 28 years old. Name is Chris Gonzalez. From Hialeah. Obviously, people don't really know what Hialeah is.
No. So what do we say?
So Miami.
Yeah.
Then it clicks. So, yeah, I'm just a technician for, well, right now, as of now, I'm a technician for emergency airplane inflatables. So the slides and the rafts, whenever there's an emergency, I'm supposed to go ahead and receive those units from the airlines every so often to maintain them, to make sure that they're not damaged, do any repairs that they may need, and test them, then pack them, and send them back to the customer. So it not really the line of work that I envisioned myself in, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful. It's a stepping stone, and it allows me to feed my family. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
That's actually the next question I was going to ask you. Do you even want to do that? Is that like a dream of yours to be a
Dude,
packer?
no, like I didn't really figure out what I wanted to do until like maybe a year ago. Theo Raulin was talking to us, and
An uncle of ours, yeah.
yeah, political uncle, a friend of our father's.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me like, hey, what are you trying to do with your life? And I just told him, hey, I'm just trying to make money, I'm trying to feed my family. I'm trying to not have to worry about financial situations or anything anymore, because, just being a lower middle class working person is not as bad as many people out there, and I'm grateful for that, but it's definitely no way to live either way. So I was all about the money, this and that. And then he came up to me, and it's like, I don't know, it's something just clicked. And he went on a whole rant about how God gave me a working brain, and he gave me a good heart, according to him. And all these things, and youth that I still have. And he told me, if you really want to make a difference, don't work with money, work with medicine, make a difference in people's lives, because those professions in medicine are the ones that really count at the end of the day, because you're not just providing someone with a savings account plan or whatever the hell, which are important as well. But at the end of the day, you're really reaching into that person's, livelihood, so to speak, and you're either saving their lives or helping them get back to their lives. So he said God wants you to give a lot more than if you were to work at a bank or a corporation or something like that. So, I didn't think about it much after the conversation, but that night, I'll tell you, man, I could not sleep. It's like something was bothering me about what he said, in a good way. And I just started doing research about how long it takes to become a doctor, what I got to do, all that stuff. And ever since then, I've been drifting towards wanting to become a neurologist or a physiatrist, which is basically a physical therapist pretty much, but at a doctor level. So that's where I'm aiming right now.
All right. I mean, we attribute the success of his future career to Tio Raul. It's going to be that. So
Yeah.
a shout out to him. He's probably not watching this, but a shout out to him. I was going to ask you this before. We had a conversation before a while back, kind of about this topic. I mean, we really just moved on to a bunch of different shit. We just talked about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the questions I was going to ask you was, have you ever seen Doctor Strange? I was kind of curious.
No, Marilyn, my wife, actually, she used to be very much into Doctor Strange. No.
You never seen this movie?
No, not Doctor Strange, my bad. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, bro.
Dude, I was confused too. But no, I've seen the only part that interests me about Doctor Strange was the beginning, when he started, gloving up for surgery, and how arrogant he was and all that stuff. But I was like, damn, dude, that guy is the best.
He was a neurosurgeon too.
Yeah, he was a neurosurgeon. He was the best. Just just seeing how he was able to take control of a situation and save a patient's life, that really like it hyped
You
me
saw
up.
the movie, right?
I didn't see the movie. Like I
Oh, you didn't
said,
see
the
the
only
movie.
part that interested me that I actually saw was the beginning when they were showing his
Yeah.
life before he lost
The use of his
the
hands.
use of his hands and stuff like that. That's the only part that interested me, and that's the only part that I've ever known about that movie. So
That's I was kind of curious. I was like, this guy wants to be a neurologist or whatever the case. Working with the brain. I wonder if he's ever seen Doctor Strange. He'd probably be interested in something like that. At least the first part, like you said. But because after that, it's a bunch of Marvel shit.
yeah,
He
yeah.
starts doing the magic and shit like that. But nonetheless, yeah, it is. I had that question in my head, but I got it answered now. So we went through the introduction at first. So we'll talk more about the neurology and stuff like that later on in the show. We'll touch on that for sure. I wanted to ask. We asked this to most people when they come on the show. Sometimes I don't, because sometimes I forget. But this is not really a dating show, but we do speak about dating a lot. So I guess it kind of is semi-dating show.
All right.
We ask current relationship status. Current relationship status. Go ahead.
Married.
Married. How long?
By law, it's been since 2016. So you do the math.
About 8 years. Did I do that math correct? No, about 9 years.
No,
Sorry.
not even.
Isn't it? Because it's 2025, right?
Hang on, it's been a long day. 2016 to 20. It's about to be 10 years. Yeah,
About to be 10 years. Yeah.
it's about to be 10 years. And then by the church, since April.
Since
April 24th. Actually, the day after my birthday. That's why I scheduled it for that. You'll never go wrong. You'll never forget.
You'll never forget.
Yeah.
You'll never forget.
So.
That's probably smart, actually. They always like to grab you at the balls. You forgot our anniversary. You forgot this.
And it's funny too, because I was trying to get married as soon as possible by the church. But it takes a while. It does take a while, because the church really wants you to focus on the reason why you're sticking together, or why you're deciding to stick together for life, and they really want you to take it seriously. So it's like a 6-month process.
Some churches have even longer. I saw a church, I think it was Mother of Our Redeemer. I was looking up there. They want it to be like, the process they say takes 9 months for them. So it's almost a year you get to that point.
Yeah.
So it is a long process.
It is a very long process, especially since divorce rates are really high. The church doesn't want to just marry people so that they can have unfulfilling lives, because they didn't know how to aim the goals for their relationship in the right direction. So they want to make sure that you're grounded in reality, and that you have your goals clearly defined, and that you agree with what the church expects from you as a couple, so that you're able to flourish and be fruitful. So it's a whole 6-month process. I actually had to, what do you call it? It actually stalled for me. It dragged out longer than it should have. And the priest was like, don't worry about it, all in God's time. And lo and behold, we were able to get married the day after my birthday. So that's a bonus for me.
And also, was it the date before you got baptized, or the day after, or the same day actually?
I got baptized. Yeah, no, it's actually the same day I got baptized. I got baptized at 1. Well, my birthday was on April 23rd, and then the day after I turned 1, our parents decided to baptize me.
The day after.
Which is the same day that I got married, April 24th.
Look at that. I mean, how do the Jews say it? Kismet? Is that what they say?
I have no idea.
I think it's that Kismet. It's basically destiny, or like fate or whatever. But nonetheless, I've been looking at some churches. They be having some long preparation times, and like you said, it's because of the high divorce rates. For the most part, I've been looking at the divorce rates. I've been looking at it a little more closely. The Catholic ones and the Orthodox ones, for that matter. But we're not talking about the Orthodox people. You guys are way too full of yourselves, so we're not going to talk about you today. But
he doesn't speak for me. But yeah, I mean, a little cocky, yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, like,
you don't believe the Orthodox are very cocky?
I believe some of them are very cocky, same way Catholics are very cocky. Some sects, especially
Catholics are super
especially the trad ones. They're receive it on the mouth, and what do you call it, the Eucharist, receive the Eucharist on the mouth, and kneel for this. And very, very militant when it comes to tradition and stuff like that, which I understand. But at the same time, they kind of go on the Pharisee route sometimes.
Yeah, I would say that.
Dude, you're focusing too much on the what do you call it, the proper way to do it, instead of what's in your heart.
That's definitely something we disagree on, which you might touch on in future in the episode. But I feel like the Orthodox, maybe this is like a good thing for them as well, because I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of want people. If you're going to be a Catholic, I want you to take it seriously. I want you to really understand the faith. I want you to understand the church history and stuff like that. Orthodox, they have a really strict like initiation process. To be Orthodox takes a long time, and not only does it take a long time, but you can get rejected for like being there for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? It's not like a Protestant church where you just go to a Protestant church and you're just like there, or for that matter, a Catholic church. Catholic churches are also kind of strict with their process, but I've heard that Orthodox are a little more strict. And I said that we wouldn't talk about you cocky fucks, but we're here doing it. So you better drop a like if you're Orthodox coming in here. But yeah, I've heard that before, which again, probably better for them. Like that's a good thing. It's not like a thing to be ashamed of or anything like
Having
that.
expectations, especially for the men. That's
No,
what
for
a lot.
sure.
That's what a lot of young guys are saying, that the Catholic Church is a little loose when it comes to expectations. Like, for Lent, give something up. You don't have to fast, but you can give. Obviously, if you have a medical exception, like you have a bad stomach and you can't
You'll pass out.
If you legit can't go without eating them, by all means, it's not to kill yourself, but at the same time, if feeling discomfort is not.
Don't say that,
Bro, figuratively speaking, okay?
Yeah.
It's not for you to end up in the hospital.
Just say delete yourself. That's better.
Yeah, it's not for you to delete yourself or anything like that.
Yeah. We don't want you to lose your life, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, the Orthodox Church does have strict, like,
more
we
strict,
expect you to do this. There's no, this is part of what it is to be one of us.
Yeah.
I do respect that a lot about them.
No, 100%. And again, I think it's to their benefit rather than their detriment. I can sit here and talk crap about them, but at the end of the day, they do have very strict traditions, which I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the church and stuff like that. They're very strict on their traditions. The way I think me personally, the way I see it, it stems from their worship. They worship very traditionally, and the worship is not how we do it. Like, or at least their mass is not how we do it. Our mass is kind of like very personable with the Father. He kind of talks to you like and stuff like that. That's kind of a portion of it. But he gives his own little speech. Every mass is like a speech from the priest that he came up with himself, and talking about the lecture or the Bible verse of the day, or the different Bible excerpts of the day, or whatever the case may be. But in the Orthodox churches, it's like, you're just hearing a bunch of music, smelling a bunch of incense, and on your knees, and then standing up, and then on your knees, and then standing up a bunch of times. So it's like, it's more, to me personally, I think that it's very beneficial to have it be that way, because from the beginning, it's like you go to a Catholic mass, you kind of get the idea that we're kind of chill, we're kind of laid back. But for them, you go to a Orthodox mass and they're strict. That's like the first impression you get. They're strict as hell. You need to do things a certain way, because if not, you're doing it wrong. And I think from that point on, they get kind of this idea, if you're going to stay in the church, in the Orthodox church, they do things a certain way. With the Catholics, I feel like they're a lot more lenient, or a lot more, like, especially the new Catholics coming in. You go to the mass, you see he's talking, having a good time or whatever. You feel like the rest of your Catholic life can be also chill. You know what I mean? There's not like things you got to be strict about. You know what I'm saying? So like and that kind of shows with the rates of Catholics who agree that abortion should be legal. You know what I mean? It's like things like that. You see that from Catholics, and it shames me to even see that number. I saw that, I was like 60-something%, or it was like, I think it was like 60-something% or 50, almost 50%.
That believe
that abortion should be legal. So it's like there's like a lack of like strictness in the church and stuff like that, in my opinion.
Church is trying to get with the times or whatever to reach people. It's like, no, man, that's definitely a very nuanced topic. Something that you really have to dissect it.
For sure.
Because it goes pretty deep. And
church history is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people blame it on Vatican II back in the.
Oh yeah, Vatican II.
Back in the hippie days when you had the, I mean, I can't
peace
say
and
it,
love,
but the love revolution, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So a lot of liberals took over, but it's changing though, because I was looking at the trends, and it shows that nowadays the next generation of Catholic priests and monks and all these this leadership that's coming up.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, the Catholic priests that we have now are the old guys, the ones that have been in since the 50s, 60s,
Yeah,
70s, and
with
so
the
on.
with the government of the United States.
Exactly. So once that generation retires, we're seeing a lot of younger guys rising up to fill in those spots, and it shows that they're leaning from being very liberal, so like Vatican II era, to very conservative. So now that we're going with the next generation, you're going to see a rise in more tradition and embracing sacrifice and masculinity and all that stuff. You know, the feminine and masculine roles within the church are being brought back. So it's not like you know how we have debates nowadays that women want to be priests and all that stuff in the Catholic Church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this next generation that's coming up on issues like that, abortion, gay rights and all that stuff, they are definitely
More conservative.
more conservative. Yeah, and they're not like they're not like, oh, we need to accept everybody's opinions and this and that. No, they say you're welcome here, but your beliefs, if they don't align with what the church has already established, is not going to fly with us. We're not going to tolerate that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I think that should be clarified. The church welcomes all people. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, what you've done, and this and that. It doesn't judge you based on what you've done or who you are. It makes it clear that what she wants, what the church wants, is for you to come in to assimilate to the truth,
To
which
obey.
exactly, because at the end of the day, that is what is going to set you free. That's why we have laws, at the end of the day, because if we don't have laws and you become a slave to your own freedom, you go deep down the rabbit hole. It's like a kid. You let him run free and do whatever he wants. He's going to feel good, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be good for him because they're not going to know what's right and what's wrong. They're not going to have that sense of direction. That's why the church is there.
Yeah.
So, again, just to clarify it, we're not saying that you can't be who you are, but at the same time, you can't bring degeneracy into the church and expect it to be supported.
You're welcome through the doors, but you leave all that bullshit outside of the doors.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, no, for sure. And not only are the new priests and the new clergy that are coming into the church now, the younger guys, they're more conservative for sure. And also the people who are converting to the church, especially the young guys who are converting to the church and they're starting to attend mass and stuff like that, they're also showing to be a lot more conservative and a lot more traditional in that way. Which to me, it shows. It's disappointing because it shows to me the potential of what the church could be if we were really conservative from the top down. You know what I mean?
Really capitalizing on the opportunity. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and I heard some girl say this, and she was. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. When a woman speaks about faith, it kind of irks me and makes me a little bit cringed out. But she was right. She was right when she said, "I'll say this one. I'll give her credit. It hurts, but I'll give her credit." She said, "Why should we water down our faith?" Something like this. I might butcher it, but why should we water down our faith for people who have no interest in it? You know what I mean? And which is what we're doing at this point. We're trying to make it so that we're not hurting feelings. We're not tearing down your. We're not making you cry. You know what I mean? We're not tearing down your own sensitive sensibilities or whatever the case may be, in an effort to bring you to the church. But what we're really doing is we're alienating the people who are already part of our church, and giving the people who might come into our church a false sense of, this is okay or this is tolerated. You know what I mean? Because like it or not, you can still say, oh, we still find this as a sin. But if you're saying, but it's okay, be who you are and all this stuff, they're still going to get a different message because they want to hear what they want to hear.
And that's hurting them. That's hurting them at the end of the day, and that's not what the church is supposed to do. The church is supposed to guide people back to the truth.
Yeah.
It's like Rome is the light, so to speak. And yeah, what that lady said is 100% on point. But why does it? I'm curious. Why does it irk you? I just want to know, because you kind of like not struck a nerve, but you struck my interest. Why does it irk you to hear a woman
I
speak
definitely
about?
struck a nerve, which I usually do when it comes to talking about shit like that.
No, not that. But yeah,
But
I am curious.
We could get more into that later on in the show. But
Okay.
I will say, I guess for a kind of a quick answer.
Because they ruined society when they got to vote.
Yes, and to me, it's like, tell it to your husband and have your husband make the video instead.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like look, I'm not a I kind of am, but I'm not a misogynist, all right? At least I don't try to be. Not too much. But what I will say, all right, hear me out here, guys. Hear me out.
Humor him.
Yeah, what I will say is women are not allowed to take positions of authority in the church for a reason. Not to say that they can't have opinions or guide people, because sisters still do that in the church. They're still, they still guide people, and they still kind of catechize.
Our Lady does that every single day.
She intercedes for us all the time as well. And I think she's like the only exception. Like Our Lady is the only exception. She's the only one who doesn't cringe me out. Everybody else cringes me out.
The perfect creature.
Yeah, right.
The perfect creature
sure.
aside from Christ, obviously. But.
Yeah, I mean Christ, the perfect creation, Mary. Because Jesus Christ wasn't created.
He was, and he is. That's it. Yeah.
That's he's God. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But yeah. So it's like, and then specifically her, she was kind of cringy the way she was speaking. It's like that guy you showed me, that one video. Remember where I was like, no, I disagree. About like the creators and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's not that you don't like having women speak
in general,
because even if it comes from a woman, if she's right, she's right. Yeah. Like you acknowledge that, but you're just saying like it just sounds cringy every time.
Not every time. Okay, certain women, because I've heard certain sisters speak, and they say good things, and I like the way they speak and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like it when, okay, first and foremost, she was kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie. The way she was speaking,
like Catholic boss lady or something.
Not really, because she was speaking very like soft and stuff like that.
Okay.
But remember the guy? Like I remember the guy that you showed me that video.
Very dramatic.
He's very like cinematic.
Okay.
It's like trying to make it very dramatic.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to catch your attention. She was kind of like that, and I was like,
okay.
She's a woman and she's speaking like this. I don't like it. But but what she was saying was true 100%. And she was talking to she was like sending a video message to Pope Francis, or Pope Leo. Sorry,
Leo, yeah.
And trying to get him to see that and all that type of stuff. But also, women need to shut up and get in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Okay, no, I'm being facetious.
Okay.
Maybe not, but maybe a little bit. Okay, but what I'm basically, but yeah, just her specifically, the way she was speaking was a little bit cringy.
It was just her, yeah. All right.
For the most part, and then in general, whenever I see a woman try to like do something like that, it's kind of like
it's a boys' game, basically, is what you're trying to say. Mostly a boys' game.
He gets it, man. He gets it. He's a misogynist too, guys. Come on.
All right.
All right.
No comment.
So I was gonna say as well, whenever a woman also tries to be the authority over you, saying like, oh, you have to do this and this and this and this.
I wouldn't know that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's also he wouldn't know that because he would never allow that. That's pretty cringy. That's like you're just. I mean, if you're a man.
No, I see what you're
like.
Trying
If I go to your house as a guy, like let's say I'm your homie or something like that. I go to your house and your woman is like, get your ass over there. What are you doing? Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm leaving there and I'm
that's disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm leaving there. I'm telling you, bro. Good luck, my dog. All right, but yeah, no. Besides that, this all stemmed from divorce rates and stuff like that. I was looking at the divorce rates for the traditional churches, so Catholic and Orthodox, and also some of the early Protestant churches, so like the traditional Anglicans and the Lutherans and stuff like that. Their divorce rates are a lot lower, So it seems like when you have more of a ecclesiastical approach to worship and to like your theology, there's more of like a understanding that marriage, matrimony is something very serious.
Yeah.
I feel like we've dumbed it down in society to the point where for men it's I just want to have kids and call you my wife and have sex with you a lot. And for women, it's I want a big ceremony and a nice dress and a nice diamond ring and
security and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just we've dumbed it down for sure. And I feel like when you look at the divorce rates with the traditional church, like I said, bringing Christ into this world, that's just one way that it would improve a lot of stuff, at least to me. And also the pushing for traditionalism in the church itself would, or at least pushing more towards that, would even exacerbate those numbers as well. But yeah, I had seen that, and I was like, we do the big preparation for the matrimony in the church and everything like that. It's a lot of months. But it's because of that. It's because of the divorce rates, like he said, and everything like that. But yeah. I don't know if you have any final thoughts on that before we move on to the Reddit.
No, I mean, what can I say about that? I feel like there's a lot more to say, but obviously we can't.
No, for sure,
spend time on it like the whole entire time. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to marriage, like you said, it's not just it's not just because people are looking at it wrong. It's because society in general has just become very regressed when it comes to dignity and respect for human life and all that stuff. If you look around, you see how back then it was more towards serving one another. You know, you look after me, I look after you. You know, not just for the sake of being secure with someone else, but at the same time, mostly because we know that it's part of a loving relationship. But nowadays, people always think about what's in it for me, and I think that's drilled into modern society. You know, look after yourself. It's all about you. Do what makes you happy, and this and that. It doesn't matter if it's at the expense of someone else's life or someone else's joy. And yeah, I mean that's my final thought. I think secular society, has really screwed everything up, and we're also to blame for it because we're supposed to set the example, but we easily let ourselves be distracted by
Yeah.
what everyone else is doing, and we follow along with that. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's we live in a very I forgot what the word is. Damn, I always forget what this word is. But it's like you said, it's a very selfish society.
Yeah.
You know, marriage, like you said, used to be what can I do for you? You know, what can you do for me? Or rather, what can I do for you on both sides?
Mm.
But also, what can I do for society? You know what I mean? What's my contribution to society? What's my duty to society? Everybody nowadays, it's just have fun. You know,
Gotta
live
get
life.
that
Gotta get that
money, you
money.
know.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that fun. I gotta have fun. Gotta live my life.
I
Whatever.
gotta find myself, you know.
Yeah, my journey or whatever the case. That's kind of how it is. Back in the day, there used to be actual societal duties. You know what I mean? There's things you must do in order to keep society running, and
And
we know that.
shame too.
And shame as
You know,
well,
keep people in check.
which the church also brings. Having a church that you are a part of and you're a member of, you have that community as well. There's gonna be shame along with that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because you're supposed to live to a standard,
Yeah.
and when you don't, it's not shame like, oh, you're a bad person or this and that. No, it's because you know that you have people that love you and support you, and you let them down because you decided to think about yourself.
Yeah.
And that ties in with God, especially. You know, He's been so good to me, and this and that. And every time I do something that I know I'm not supposed to do, it fills me with shame because I know that I have someone that loves me very much and someone that's willing to put up with me, and all I can do is betray them, you know, with my thoughts, my actions, my words, and all that stuff.
Do what I want.
And that fills me with shame, and that's a good thing at the end of the day because
Yeah.
it gives me that compass to actually go back and make things right, you know, not for my sake, but for the sake of the relationship, for the sake of being in love with someone and having their back because you know that at the end of the day they've had yours, and even if they haven't had yours, you know, at the end of the day it makes you feel good because it's the right thing to do, you know.
Yeah, no. Shame is always the precursor to reconciliation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, if I stab my homie in the back, if I don't feel shame about it, I'm not gonna apologize.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's how you know you're pretty fucked, you know.
Yeah. You gotta be able to feel that. To feel that that shame. Yeah, that shame. But yeah. With that being said, we had a good conversation to start off this show. Should have already been in the Reddits. That just goes to show how the show's gonna go.
I guess.
Nonetheless, we're gonna go through the Reddit threads. You guys seem to like this, so we're gonna keep doing it. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna keep going. So we're gonna start with relationship advice. So as you know, when it comes to relationship advice, we go through the posts. We read these people's horrible stories because they are very terrifying, but nonetheless they happened, and we give our advice on what they should do next. And then if they're fucked, we say they're fucked. So here we go. Girlfriend, 28 female, upset that I, 34 male, hang out with a female friend.
All right, read that again.
Girlfriend, 28 female,
Okay.
upset that I, 34 male, hang out with a female friend.
Okay.
For context, my girlfriend hates cars and my friend loves cars. I don't have any feelings for her. I'm currently fixing a car for her, and it's been a 2-day project. I'm getting paid. Today, I was wrapping up and figured, hey, why not get an extra set of hands to help to get my old Volvo to the tire shop? So I had her ride with me in case the tires blew up and had an extra set of hands. I had my girlfriend pick us up, and she was super cold and didn't say much. When we dropped her off, she was upset saying that I'm flirting because I opened the door for her. She was also upset that I didn't ask for her help, even though she hates my cars and never really wants to help out anyways. How can I reassure my partner that she is just a friend? Before we say anything, um, this dude, I find it to be extremely bullshit, absolute bullshit, that you need an extra set of hands, and those happen to be a female's hands. You telling me you can't do it yourself, so you ask for help from a female? We all know your game, brother. All right, we know your game. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, either he's being dishonest or he doesn't have feelings, but at the same time, it's highly inappropriate because that what you do with that female, you should be doing with your girlfriend. You
Or a
know?
homie, bro. Bring a dude. You got no
Yeah.
homie friends. You know what I mean?
So I mean, for you to be the woman, I bet is really pissed off because at the end of the day, he basically found a replacement for her because she doesn't like cars. And
Yeah.
women, humans in general, but especially women, since they're more emotional, they do not like to feel replaced by another woman. Okay, that's a no no. So even if you don't have any feelings for her, I would say just out of respect for your girlfriend and her feelings and everything like that, if you really value her, you shouldn't be doing that because you don't want her to feel like she's been replaced. First of all, second of all, who's to say that if your girlfriend finds a guy to do something with that you don't like,
Golden
and
rule.
yeah, the turntables, don't do what you don't want being done to you.
That's
All right,
facts.
and on top of that, who's to say that even if you don't have feelings for that girl that you're hanging out with, she doesn't have feelings for you?
That's also facts.
So there's so many avenues, so many bases you got to cover, and it's just more stress than it's worth.
Yeah, I think living as a Christian, a big thing about life is about life decisions, however small they may be, is about prudence. You know what I mean? Is it prudential to do a certain thing?
Yeah,
Is it very prudent to hang out with a girl and
it's
do
not.
things with a
It's
girl
not
that
smart.
your
Yeah,
girl doesn't really like? You know what I mean? So it's like my girl doesn't like this, so I'm gonna hang out with this other girl because she does like this. You know what I mean? Is that really prudential? You know what I mean? Probably
Yeah.
not. Furthermore, this guy's a sly dog, man. This man said I don't have any feelings for her. He ain't never said he don't want to fuck though. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying? Like it or not, bro. If you have even a semi-attractive friend, dog, she gets like even semi-naked in front of you, bro. Your hand's gonna be all over that. You know?
yeah,
Just keep away. Keep away.
it's just biology at the end of the day that she's a woman, you're a man, you're not a kid anymore at the
No,
playground.
no,
You
no.
know, as a kid, you're hanging out with boys and girls because you're kids.
You
You
play
know,
touch butt, but
yeah,
as an
but
adult, you play something else.
as an
You know?
adult, you got hormones. Okay, you have the testosterone as a guy.
Yeah.
You're trying to smash anything you find that resembles a woman.
That's facts.
All right.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you heard me. There's a lot of weird guys nowadays. So you're trying to smash anything, and then at the end of the day, what was I going with that? At the end of the yeah, you threw me off. At the end of the day, freaking if you're bonding so much with this chick, you're gonna end up feeling something for that girl. Okay.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
she gets me. You know, I can share with her this part of me that isn't appreciated by my partner. So you're gonna build attachments. All right, sooner or later. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. That's what's gonna happen at the end of the day. So very foolish of this guy to be doing that. If you really want to reassure your girlfriend, tell her, hey, I'm not hanging out with this girl anymore. All right, that's it.
Yeah, you might even like. Listen, bro. Based off of what I read, your girl doesn't seem like the most pleasant woman at times. You know, she could be very unpleasant. You know, you got a very unpleasant girlfriend, and your female friend could be very pleasant on a certain day. It's a recipe for disaster, my guy. You know what I mean? A recipe for disaster. What is more intelligent? You know what I mean? If you really like this girl as well, like if the girl you're with currently, you really like her, you really want to be with her, you really want to be with her long term, you know, you got to drop that bitch, bro. You got to drop that bitch. Have a homie. Like where are your home? Like your male friends? You got no male friends, bro? Like where are you? Like come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's a little gay, bro. You
And
going
the-
to sleepovers and shit or something?
And guys can make friends pretty quickly,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to cars.
Of course.
So
Of course. Like I said, I find it very hard to believe that this guy, he thought to himself, I might need some help.
Let me find a woman.
Let me get a woman. You know what I mean?
Only person in the world that likes cars like me is a woman.
Right? Yeah. You know, like I might need to change this tire because this tire might blow up in while I'm driving. So I might need some brute force here. Let me get a woman, bro.
It kind of sounds like he's asking for advice on how to bullshit his way out of that one,
right?
so he can keep on doing what he wants.
Yeah, he's trying to ask for advice on how not to like how to make it seem like he doesn't want to fuck. You know what I'm saying? How do I? Because his question was, how do I reassure my partner she's just a friend? Dog, how do I reassure my partner? That's basically you saying, how do I convince her that I really don't want to fuck this bitch? You know what I'm saying? Let me give you a little winky wink right here. You know what I'm saying? Bro, just the better question to ask is, how do I move forward or what? How do I move forward more prudently? I think that's how you say it. Anyways,
Okay.
is by dropping the bitch, bro. Drop her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or drop your girlfriend.
Yeah, and get with that girl. That's it.
Yeah, bro. At the end of the day, man, the way I see it, females and males, they're not just friends, bro. You know what I mean? If there's a potential for something more, then you're not really just friends. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm never friends with a gay dude, because that motherfucker started liking me for something. You know? So there's always that risk, and you don't want to take risks, man. Don't take risks. Especially when it comes to that.
Not to mention, girls won't give you the time of day unless they're into you or you're some sort of security, whether it be emotional, financial, or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, you're kind of playing with fire either way. So.
Yeah, no,
it's just a dumb question, man. Yeah. Like you know better than that. You're a guy. You know how it works.
And like I said, I feel like he does know how it works. He's a dude. He's just a sly dog, man. He's out here talking about something. I don't have any feelings for her, but you ain't saying you don't want to fuck. And then he said, how can I reassure my partner she's just a friend? How can I gaslight my partner into not believing I don't want to fuck? It's like, we see the game you're playing, brother. We see the game you're playing. And listen, man, I respect the hustle. I don't condone the hustle, but I respect it. Actually, no, I don't respect it. I understand it, I guess. With that being said, my advice to you, man, is either dump your girl if you don't like her that much. And plus, you're 34, bro. What the fuck? I just realized.
Yeah, get off of Reddit, man. Go talk to your girlfriend about it. Yeah, like, come on. Communicate with your partner. That's
34, dog. Come on, man. I just realized you're 34. And she's 28, bro. Come on.
She's 28. That's my age.
Yeah, bro. Like, really, bro. You're like, that's a what? A fucking 6-year difference.
6-year difference, yeah.
Dude. Unless your female friend is like 27 or some shit, dump the female friend, bro. All right. Anyways, any final thoughts on that one?
No, just if you really don't like her and you're actually asking this genuinely, then you're kind of not helping us men. You break the stereotype that men are stupid.
Yeah, bro.
It's just stupid all around.
Maybe he's playing stupid. Which in that case, I don't know why you're on Reddit, bro.
I don't know why you have the girl. That too. I don't even know why you have the girlfriend, dude. Like,
it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game.
You're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You can't have both. You can't have it both ways, man.
Yeah, bro.
You're giving female vibes. That's the thing.
I feel like that's what he's doing. I feel like he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. That's not gonna work, my guy. It's not gonna work. Good luck, but it's not gonna work. All right.
That's just selfish.
Yeah. All right. So now, am I the asshole? We're moving into am I the asshole here? Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law I will be on a seafood diet? And by sea, I don't mean like fish. I mean like sea. For context, I am super pregnant right now. My husband, 29 male, and I, 26 female, have another child who is almost 3. I didn't have a positive breastfeeding experience with her. I'm determined to have a better experience with our second child. His brother, my brother-in-law, 30 male, is a chronic yo-yo dieter. I personally think it's annoying because he tries to get everyone else around him to try it. I've always politely said, no thanks. My husband has told him several times to stop bringing it up to me, but he's sneaky and will ask when my husband is not in the room. Bro, what the fuck? I'd beat the shit out that motherfucker. I've just brushed it off as he's insecure. There was one day when he and their sister, 34 female, were at our house and my husband had to use the bathroom. Brother-in-law asked me if I had done any research on how to lose weight when I have the baby. I had to take a deep breath so I didn't snap. I told him I had no plans for that. Then he proceeds to tell me about some kind of diet that requires cutting out all kinds of foods, and apparently the baby weight will just fall right off. I told him no thank you. I'm not worried about my weight, and neither are my doctors or my husband. Then he pressed even further. all while my husband is taking a shit. He asked me if I had any diets in mind, and he would like to research them for me to see if they were good for me. I laughed and said that I would be on a seafood diet. I'll seafood and I'll eat it. Because with breastfeeding, you burn lots of calories, so I'll probably be hungry all the time. He was visibly uncomfortable, but my sister-in-law was giggling. After my poor husband came out, brother-in-law suddenly decided he needed to take his dog for a walk. My husband asked if anything happened, and I told him. He thought it was funny too, and he was going to talk to his brother. I know I'm not the asshole, but part of me feels bad for the guy. If he's this insecure, could I be the asshole? Sorry, could I be the asshole by being as sarcastic as I was?
Give me your opinion first.
Is she the asshole? No. I would say no. Generally, no. I think that I don't even think she was that. Based off of the story she told, because obviously there's two sides.
All right, let me make sure I got the story right. Like, condense it.
Yeah.
Pretty much condense it for me, real quick.
Okay,
just
so
to make sure.
she's pregnant.
Mm.
She has a child already who was 3. She had a bad breastfeeding experience.
Yeah.
She thinks that eating more will make her breastfeeding experience better because breastfeeding drops a lot of calories. So she, she's kind of with the mindset that I'm just gonna eat whatever I see because whatever.
Yeah.
And she wants to make her breastfeeding experience better.
Okay.
Her husband's brother, so her brother-in-law, is like a diet guy. He's really on a yee diet type shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what yo-yo diet means. I don't know if that means just like a weird diet, whatever. Anyways, but he's a diet guy, so he's always kind of pushing on her like, oh, you should try a diet. You should try this. You should try that. Brother tells him, bro, stop doing that. He keeps doing it whenever the brother's not there.
Oh, so basically behind his brother's back, he's trying to force her into whatever he deems
he's trying to coax her into like.
Is
hey,
it even? Does it say if he's like a dietitian or anything like that?
No,
like a professional? He's just an aficionado.
Yeah, I guess he's just like he's a guru, a diet guru, or some shit. I don't know. So he's always like, oh, you should try this diet. You should try this diet, and then she's like, fuck off. She says at one point or one day. He tells her, "Hey, are you planning on beginning any diet when you give birth? Because dropping all the baby weight or whatever the hell." And she's like, "No, I'm just gonna, I'm on a seafood diet. So if I see the food, I'll eat it. And then he got like a little offended because she was being sarcastic. So.
Yeah, she probably got fed up with him at that point.
Yeah. So
I mean, it is a male from the family hierarchy, so she has to obey regardless. No, I'm playing.
Based. Absolutely based.
I'm playing. No, he needs to mind his own business, like.
Especially if the brother told him to fuck off.
Yeah, like even if he means it with the best intentions, you gotta know when you gotta mind your own business. That's his wife, not yours.
Yeah.
If it's your wife, even then, pushing it on her is gonna piss her off because she just gave birth exactly, and she's breastfeeding and a lot of hormones going on. Yeah. So this guy, another twat, another one that doesn't know how to engage with females and all that stuff.
This is what Reddit's all about, man.
Yeah, man. That's what Reddit really is, man. It's a bunch of people that don't have experience with interactions or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, but he needs to mind his own business, man. That's not your wife. So, and on top of that, it's extremely disrespectful. Especially when it's your own brother, that you're going behind a man's back to try to force his female to do something that you want. That is like the equivalent of me rubbing my balls on your girlfriend's face and being like, oh, I can do it, behind your back. No, man.
I'm taking the shit and he's rubbing his balls. Bro, that's why I said, I would have beat that motherfucker's ass, man. Because, listen, man, I'm telling you not to do it. I already told you, listen, she doesn't want to hear from it. You do it at the beginning, whatever. It could be like, you want, you're like, good intentions type shit.
Yeah.
But once I tell you to fuck off, bro.
That's it.
You gotta fuck off.
End the story.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He was being facetious when it came to the whole, like, he's a man, so you gotta listen. But there is some truth behind that. If the man, a.k.a. the husband of the wife, is telling you to fuck off, bro, that's it, bro. You gotta fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So, and listen, that might be taken out of context. Even if the woman is telling you to fuck off, yes, you should fuck off, okay? I don't want nobody to take me out of context here.
Maybe. Well,
depending on the situation.
A case by case
basis. But generally.
No, for real. Generally.
You should fuck off.
Yeah, you definitely should.
Especially if your brother's telling you, man, the husband of the wife that you're bothering. Yeah, bro.
That's your brother, too. If you should be bothering anybody about that, is your brother.
Yeah.
Like, if Natalie were eating like shit and I'm just here like knowing that there's a better way. I'd be pushing you about it if anything. I'm not gonna be pushing
Yeah.
Natalie.
And even if you do push Natalie, once I tell you to stop pushing Natalie,
That's
then you
it.
stop.
Yeah, I
You
stopped.
know what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're getting ass beat. I feel like, listen, man, this is going to be advice. This isn't even an advice Reddit. But if it was an advice Reddit, I'd be giving the advice to the husband. Beat his ass, bro. That's the only way he'll listen. Unless he's like mentally, I can't say that word, mentally handicapped in some way, shape, or form, which seems like it might be, bro. Because I don't know.
No, he just sounds like he's narcissistic. He believes that his way is the right way, and,
Yeah,
and that's it. Like if you don't listen to me, that's it. Like you're in the wrong. You know, you're gonna die or whatever. And I don't know. You're gonna cease to exist.
Or you're not gonna exist in the way that I feel.
And
Is most optimal.
yeah, most often exactly, man. Like quit and don't Hitlerize your relationship with your
Don't say
sister-in-law.
Don't say that word, bro.
You can't even name the person.
No, bro. You know what you could say? The Austrian painter.
Don't what do you call it?
Austrian painter.
Don't be the emperor of your own little world, okay? Like
Yeah.
relax, dude.
That's
no,
what they say. They say Austrian painter. I don't know why.
the
But anyway.
Austrian painter, yeah, because he was Austrian,
Was he
and
a painter?
he was an aspiring painter,
What a guy.
and he got rejected from the artist school, you know, that he was
Listen,
trying to get into.
I'm not even saying anything. I know we're like gonna be completely off topic when I say this, but the Austrian painter was he was a good guy. He was a good guy. I'm not talking about that guy. What are you talking about? I'm talking about a different Austrian painter. Anyways, you were saying?
No, yeah, just mind your own business, man. Like
Yeah, bro.
it's not your place. It's really not your place. And to undermine your brother's authority behind his back, that's just a coward move.
Yeah, man.
And that shows you that you know that you're doing something wrong. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
she's definitely not the asshole.
Slimy shit.
She's definitely not the asshole. She should like, you know, tell her husband how uncomfortable it makes her.
Yeah.
And if the husband doesn't do anything about it, then that just shows you that.
And he's the asshole.
Yeah.
I feel like if anybody's the asshole in this entire thing, it's the husband, bro. How the fuck have you not like at least
Drawn the
give him a little
boundary.
slap, bro? Like,
Yeah,
like, whoosh, you know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, I'm gonna tell you one more time. If you don't stop, we're gonna have some problems. And then the next time, that's it. It's
give him a little smack in the face or something.
yeah, it's on site. It's not something that you're gonna have to discuss anymore.
Yeah, that taste is gonna be out of his mouth, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's how you know this guy hasn't gotten slapped because
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
no consequences whatsoever. He acts like there's nothing to worry about.
You're the husband, bro. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to be the guide in your family. If that has to extend to your brother, bro, that's gonna have to extend to your brother. You know, teach him some manners. You know what I'm saying? Teach him some fucking manners. All right, but anyways, I'm ready to move on to the next one if you are.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
the Austrian painter. Are you serious?
That's what they call him.
That's how bad YouTube gone.
That's how bad YouTube got. You can't even say like the N word.
They're acting like the Austrian painter.
Not that N word. The Austrian painter N word. Like
Yeah, they're
4-letter word.
they're acting like an Austrian painter right now.
Yeah, right. Very
Very policed.
fascist of you.
Very policed.
YouTube.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Very fascist YouTube. Yeah, no, that's their whole thing. They're a bunch of freaking bitches, bro.
No, but
If it
what
was up to me, bro, I'd be saying the N word, not that N word, the Austrian painter N word. Okay.
No, but when it comes to other things that are way more degenerate, oh yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Got bitches in hot tubs. Fuck it. It's legal. All right. So this next one is coming from no stupid questions. Do you ever read the Bible and wonder if the people who see visions are just in a mental health crisis? Ever stop and wonder if all of these quote-unquote visions from the Bible are just people having a schizophrenic episode, accidentally eating something like mushrooms or other substances that might be messing with their mental state, or dehydrated severe enough that it causes hallucinations?
That's a very loaded question. That's a lot to unpack. Because
It is.
as
I know Muhammad was definitely on some shit.
no, he was on his own ego trip.
Yeah, that boy was on some shit.
Now, the impressive part about Muhammad is how he got
Everybody else?
everybody else. Yeah,
You gotta hand it to him, man. He convinced, man.
yeah, he convinced a lot of people. I mean, objectively speaking, if you look at the way that he taught, well, I'm gonna get a little bit off topic right now, but I'll snap back to it. If you look at the ways that he taught, or like, how do you know that this is the right thing or whatever? In the Bible it says it, by their fruits you shall know them, or something like related to that.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, watch how they act and watch the results of their actions and their words and everything like that. If it's obviously something that's objectively wrong, like Muhammad and all that stuff, the way that end someone because they don't want to convert.
I mean,
You either
yeah,
convert.
bro. That boy married a 9-year-old.
Yeah, and
So
that too, and it's like, dude, like, come on. At the end of the day, you get to see the end result of what
Yeah.
he taught. So obviously, you know that's wrong.
Yeah.
But back to it. I mean, dude, as Catholics, we believe that God can reach out to you through any means that he so desires. So you could be tripping on mushrooms, and you can experience God with that. Not to say that it's smart to do that. That's definitely not.
Yeah, don't trip on mushrooms just to
Yeah,
see God or something.
it's a sin actually to inhibit yourself.
Yeah.
Even with alcohol, anything that inhibits your cognitive functions, that reduces you to just animalistic instincts and all that stuff,
Yeah.
that's a sin. But if God wants to reach you through that, then he will for sure.
Yeah.
You know, he can do whatever he wants. But I mean, if you want to look at it from a secular point of view, if they're having a mental breakdown or something like that,
from a religious point of view, you when you read the Bible and you read about like visions that, like, for example, Moses had or whatever, or Abraham had or anything like that.
the bush, the fire,
like
and
when you read about these things, doesn't it ever come into? Doesn't mean that you have to believe it, but doesn't it ever come into your head like these motherfuckers might have been on something?
dude, sometimes I read the Bible, I'm like, I actually believe this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Wait, this is what I'm supposed to believe? No, but at the end of the day, it's like, bro,
He took her out of his. All right, he took him. Oh my
a
God.
rib. He took
her
a
out of his rib.
yeah, that. But no, like, you don't. A lot of these things, I'm not well versed in it, so I'm gonna be careful with what I say here. A lot of these things aren't meant to be taken literally. You know, a lot of these things are parables as well. You know, historically speaking, a lot of these things are stories to kind of explain things in a way that people can understand. Because back then, people were semi-savage, meaning that they don't have the same level of reasoning or philosophy or theology that we do nowadays, civility. So back then, a lot of the ways that people would explain things to each other was by telling stories. You know, it brought people together, and it put themes into digestible bits that people could, the commoner could understand. It didn't require a scholar. Exactly.
All that type of stuff.
So as to the main question, whether they were tripping or they were having some kind of mental breakdown or whatever, I mean, who knows? I don't believe so, because if it comes from God, then it must be a very clear message, something that you can't confuse with anything of this world. But who knows? Maybe one of them was tripping, and that's how they encountered God. I don't know.
Moses, the founder of LSD. The question is more so, it's not really do you believe that they were like on a trip or something.
Okay.
Do you ever wonder? You know what I mean?
Do I ever wonder? Does that ever cross my mind?
This guy eats some mushrooms he shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Because no, I mean, in the Middle East, I'm not aware of any hallucinogenics.
No.
You know, yeah, I'm
Like
not.
in the mountains, you might get some crazy stuff.
I'm not aware of any, so I don't think that they were hallucinating or anything like that. Plus, they had their main source of, getting funky. Yeah, was alcohol.
Alcohol, like wine and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, it does cross my mind a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. Like whenever I hear these fantastical stories of different visions people have in the Bible, or even saints for that matter, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like,
yeah.
this guy smoke a joint before having this vision or something.
That was pretty wild, dog.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. He comes out of it. He's like,
whoa.
What just happened?
Yeah.
But no, it's I sometimes think about it. I'm not gonna say that I believe it, because obviously we have the faith and we believe that these things actually did happen and stuff like that. And even if they didn't, it's still like to a certain like point. You know what I mean? There's a point to it, and it's all kind of proven for the most part. A lot of the visions are proven to be true by other things that happen in future following that, or other people have the same vision, that not just that person. So it's like these different coincidences.
Yeah, the message is always consistent.
Yeah,
the message is always consistent.
It's never contradictory. You
know
what I mean? And sometimes it even happens through multiple people. So it's like, how is it so coincidental that multiple people have the same vision? So, it's backed up, you know what I mean, by different events that happen.
That actually, it's funny, because you actually brought that to my attention right now. That years ago I was reading that scientists, or at least some scientists, believe that the reason why people thought that God was talking to them back in like ancient times, like no, not even before ancient times, the reason why religions arose is because people believed that God was talking to them. And the reason why people that God was talking to them, scientists speculated is because since the brain was still developing in a primitive type of sense, evolution and all that stuff, the two hemispheres weren't properly connected together. It was still evolving to be the fully functioning human brain we know today. So since they weren't properly connected all the way, then one hemisphere of the brain could induce mild hallucinations, like auditory hallucinations. So what they thought was speaking to them was actually their thoughts, but they were hearing it as if it was an outside voice speaking to them. That's what some scientists speculated, and it's interesting to think about
Is
that.
that kind of what happens to schizophrenic people? Their shit's not connected.
No, from what I do know, schizophrenic people have a deficiency deeper within their brain.
This is a shit right here. Let's
Yeah,
get into
I
it.
haven't touched on that subject for a while, so my memory on that is a little hazy. I could be wrong, but it's like a deficiency in their brain. The connections are either not adequately wired, so the parts of the brain that are supposed to be connected together are connected on the wrong areas. So instead of having one part of the brain connected to this part, which is the proper natural way, it's connected to a different area. So when they fire, they're not supposed to be communicating with each other. Those two regions, because they weren't supposed to be connected to begin with, and that causes some sort of hallucination. Either that, or there's a deficiency in the hormones or signals that are being sent. So either too much of a certain hormone or a certain neurotransmitter that causes a hallucination, or too little of it. So it definitely has to do with brain function and how they're wired together, from what I understand. But again, my memory is a little hazy on that. I could be wrong about it.
We're gonna
But
have him on in a
generally,
couple in like half a decade, and he about to give us a whole lesson on that. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie, just kind of a little off topic. I was hearing some like recreations of what it's like to be a schizophrenic dude. That's terrifying.
yeah.
I got respect for those people, man.
Not to mention you can't even focus on a
On
basic
anything,
task because it's like, dude, having all different types of voices coming at you,
yeah,
and they're distracting you. Not to mention, dude, you don't know when one of those voices is gonna like scream at you or something. And
yeah,
you're
yeah.
just
Scare you, startle you, or something.
yeah, and it's all happening inside your head. No one is able. It's
No
like
one's
silence outside of your head, but inside your head is the whole entire cafeteria in high school.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's constant. I don't know if it's for some people it probably is, or it might be. But dude, that's just terrifying to think about.
There are probably different levels of severity to it.
Yeah,
For sure.
That's terrifying to think about. I have a lot of respect for those people. It's a real shit show to have to deal with. But yeah, I mean, maybe with the Neuralink they get some sort of cure to that. But with that being said, do you ever read the Bible and wonder if people who see visions are in a mental health crisis? They might have gotten some of the Mary Jane, or they might have founded the Mary Jane, but no, I mean, like I said, it comes to faith. You know what I mean? So we believe all these things actually did happen, and they're actually valid
And clean.
Yeah, and
They
clean.
came clean.
I mean, and they also, beyond faith, logically, you can come up to some sort of conclusion that even if it is wrong, or rather, even if it is some sort of hallucination, it still tracks with the rest of the teaching of the Bible.
Yep.
So at the very least, it's like if Jesus is talking about the parable of the Good Samaritan, it didn't actually happen, but it's still very good to understand that and
Yep.
to take it as like knowledge and stuff like that. So nonetheless, that's the way I like to think about it. But I don't know if you have any final thoughts. We'll move on to the next one.
No, I think we're good.
All right, great. Next one, we're gonna go to relationship advice. Again, I, 22 female, was disrespected / cheated on by my partner, 24 male, via the secret corn addiction and secret Insta account. Is it worth pursuing? All right. Oh my.
Before you read that, remember when you showed me Cornhub?
Yeah.
Dude, I could not.
They took that website down.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude. Now, like, you search up Cornhub and it's 404 or whatever.
Yeah, that's stupid.
A little bit of lore there.
Yeah, I was cracking up in front of everybody at Best Buy.
Yeah,
I was
Best Buy,
trying to do.
We went to the MacBooks and I searched up Cornhub. I'm like, dude, look at this. And then he sees Cornhub. I'm assuming.
No,
at
you
first
told me. Oh, there's Cornhub. You know that, right? Or something like that. I was like, no, you're messing with me. You're like, no, there's actually a website called Cornhub. It's literally like
It's like the prawn.
yeah, like Prawn Hub, but it's literally the layout is the same and everything. It's just that it's all corn. There's
corn,
nothing but corn. I was
It's
like,
corn.
that's bullshit. And then you just showed it to me, and I was, dude, I could not believe it. It was so out of pocket that I started cracking the hell
I
up.
searched it
Man.
up on the MacBook in the store, or sorry, not a MacBook. It was a Mac. It was a Mac computer PC.
Yeah, and you did it, and you did it with the Best Buy device too.
Yeah, I did it on the Best Buy Mac PC, and I searched it up, and he was just dying laughing. I had to walk away because this man was so loud for a minute. I was like, shit. All right. Well, anyways, a little bit of lore there for you. So obviously, me writing a post and asking for advice, I'd say it's more than right to assume that my relationship pretty much might be over. I found out about a week ago from my partner's watch as it was gaining notifications whilst he was using his phone in the bathroom. I found out he had a secret Instagram account where he had blocked my personal account from seeing his. The account he had used was a pretend persona / catfish account. That is where he interacted with women to gain their OF links. This guy. Call them hot, how he would like to fuck them, etc. And even asked a few girls to meet up to do the nasty. I found that out after he deleted the account at her request and finding out and logged into the account whilst he was sleeping to see the damage. Honestly regret it, but grateful for being nosy. The thing is, we have been together coming up a year. I moved interstates to be with him. Damn, that sucks. Left my family, friends, and don't have a job currently. I have paid to furnish our home, which cost me thousands of dollars, and this is what I find out 3 months after moving in. I'm completely devastated and feel so blindsided, as there was absolutely no signs of lusting, cheating, or porn addiction. When I found out, I immediately confronted him and was met with straight bold-faced lies and denial. After 20 minutes of asking the same thing, can you tell me the truth, etc., he finally admitted he had an addiction and was unfaithful, essentially. Just pausing here real quick. I find it so funny to think about sometimes that, like, their woman catches, like, snoops through the phone and catches some shit, and the guy's like, no, what are you talking about? That never happened. It's like, bro, to think, what if it actually never did happen, and this girl is on his ass about something she found on the phone, but it was like, there's some rational explanation to it.
What rational explanation would there be to that?
But like,
just humor the situation.
Yeah, like, there's some rational explanation. Like, he got hacked or some shit, and there's a hacker who's like at this very moment doing shit on his phone.
He hacks just to watch the world burn.
Yeah,
He doesn't
right?
hack for money.
Yeah,
He doesn't hack for what do you call it, for social security numbers. He just hacks to ruin people's
Just to ruin people's
relationships.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm not, what are you talking about? And he's like, she thinks he's like gaslighting her, when in reality he's being fucking serious. I find that so funny for some reason. I don't even know why I find that somebody's relationship burning to the ground.
Because it's ridiculous. The whole entire situation is ridiculous.
Dude. Fucking hell, that'd be something. But anyway, my question: how the heck am I supposed to get through this? I appreciate the honesty he has given me and the transparency since finding out. We had agreed on steps that need to be taken to help rebuild the relationship. Example: therapy, transparency, and boundaries. Not taking his phone into the bathroom / toilet. Damn. I know these things go one way or another. We rebuild and become stronger, or I can't get past this and resent him, or he does it again and we inevitably break up. Since finding out this whole other side of him, I've accepted the fact that the reality of it is he may do this again, and I have had to acknowledge that before wanting to continue our relationship. I love him so much, but how can I be with somebody who says he loves me but doesn't love me enough or respect me enough to not cheat on me? Since finding out, most of the time, it honestly feels normal. We feel normal, but then I'll get random sudden flashes of what happened and immediately feel closed off and sad, hurt. I know a road of healing doesn't happen in the span of a week. It's over months and even years. He seemed remorseful, regretful, and truly believes such. However, I feel so silly for pursuing when I feel insecure about myself and now our relationship. Advice?
Did you say if they were married?
They are...
Or just boyfriend and girlfriend?
It doesn't... I mean, she doesn't say. So I'm assuming they're, like, dating. Or at the very least, they're, like, maybe fiancés. I don't know.
It's only been a year, right? So...
Yeah, we've been together for coming up to a year.
Coming up to a year, and you've already uprooted yourself, left people that you've known your whole life, and spent a lot of money. You've already invested more than you should invest on anybody that you haven't even known for a year, dude.
It's kind of wild.
You haven't even known. That part is on you. That part is definitely on you.
Yeah,
Cause
a little too
too
ahead of
rash. Yeah,
yourself.
too brash. Like you're going into the deep end without even.
90 and a 30, man. Crazy.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. But well, that's a tough one, man. That part is never gonna fully heal. I dare to say that,
Yeah, no, for sure.
because you're never gonna have that peace of mind. You know,
You'll
once
never forget
once
about that. Yeah.
yeah, once it's broken, once that part of you is broken, that trusting part, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Dare I say impossible to fully regain it and restore it to what it was before.
Yeah.
You know, good on you that you found it, because now you know where you stand. You know,
Could have
and
been worse. Could have been fucking a year into you moving out with him.
yeah, and I mean, dude, don't don't stay just because. Don't think about how much you invested this and that. You know,
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I've already done so much for him. I might as well just stay and make it work. I love him so much. What, homie, literally kept kept it from you that he was talking to other chicks, and he
This
was
dude had a
saying,
whole system.
yeah, he
You know
had a
what I'm
whole
saying?
system, bro. That's how inconsiderate he was of you, and at the same time, he's like he probably, I guarantee you that he's addicted to the corn, okay? Because you know how it is. You get you see a little bit of corn, it feels good. You go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. It's like drugs.
Yeah, man.
You need a stronger hit every single time, and it probably got to the point where he was doing things that he never imagined he could do,
Start
which
building
is
a
that.
tolerance to the gateway drug, and you
Yeah,
start doing something different. Something different.
he got so desperate for the hit that he developed a whole system to deceive her and to have his little fun on the side.
Yeah.
I would say ditch the guy, because you can always start over again, and it's not worth it, especially if you haven't even known the guy for a year.
Yeah.
You know, and you already know what he's capable of doing. Do you really want to gamble the rest of your life
Yeah.
like that? You know, so I don't know. I would say it's a prime time to start all over again. But if you really love him the way that you say that you do, then I don't know. You gotta really start working out a system with him.
Yeah.
And the whole entire keep your phone out and this and
Yeah,
it's acceptable at first if you really want to do it, because it's very tender right now, the situation.
Yeah.
But it's not a long term strategy. That's just gonna build resentment on both sides. Oh, I've earned enough trust for you to not require me to take my phone, and then you feel insecure. This is not. It's already the first year already started bad, like terrible. So I would say just cut your losses, learn from it. Don't jump, you know, straight into everything next time, and just learn from this experience.
Yeah. Plus, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Like, when it comes to like a wife and stuff like that. Like, listen, I live with my fiance, which I shouldn't be doing, but that's whole another conversation. The bathroom for a man can feel like a damn man cave sometimes. You know what I mean?
For us broke men that
You know
can't
what I'm
afford a
saying?
real
That we
man
can't
cave.
afford a real man cave. Dude, going to the bathroom is like, bro, it's just an escape. You know what I mean?
Sanctuary.
That's a
yeah.
sanctuary right there, from the wife, from the kids, and everything. So eventually, dude's gonna want to take his phone in there. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna be like, bro, this is my sanctuary. Like, I'm not trying to look at porn or like talk to any other bitches, but bro, I just want to scroll through TikTok or something.
I thought you couldn't say the word
What?
corn. I thought you couldn't say the actual word.
Oh.
Scratch that.
Corn. I said corn, guys.
For
Listen,
for
YouTube-
educational purposes.
YouTube
For educational
YouTube
purposes.
CEO. I didn't say that word. Okay, I'm sorry. Please don't demonetize me. Oh, sorry. Please don't take my video down, please. You dumb bitch. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, no, it's eventually he's like, I don't want to watch, corn. I don't want to, text no other bitches. I just want to chill on my phone, man. This is my sanctuary. Yeah, he's gonna resent you for that. Listen, part of me is like, dude, you're a woman. Shut up and like let him cheat on you if he wants to, because he's a man,
Okay,
Fuck you.
Marlon.
Marlon, who's Marlon?
What is it? Isn't that the name of the guy from the Fresh and Fit podcast?
No, Myron. He's talking
Myron. There we go,
Marlon.
Marlon.
I was talking to
I'm out
Natalie
of
about
touch.
that guy
I'm out of
today.
touch.
I was talking to Natalie, and she also thought I said Marlon.
Marlon, yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, but no, it's like, dude, shut your mouth. You're a woman. Get to the damn kitchen. If he wants to cheat on you, then so fucking be it, man. You're, who are you type shit. You know what I'm saying? You have a vagina. Shut up. But listen, man, we live in a society where women think that it's okay to talk to their man about him cheating on her, you know. So, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It is what it is. Okay, no, but genuinely, you can come back from anything. You'll never forget about it, like you said. You'll never forget about it. It's always going to be there. You know what I mean? There's always going to be that thing that this guy did cheat on me in the past, you know? You'll never get over it fully, but you can learn how to move past it, and you can build something stronger after it. It's very, very difficult, and it's not just anybody who can do that. You know what I mean? What I would say is, if you think to yourself, I'm going to resent him the rest of my life for this, and there's nothing I can do about it, then leave. It's not resentment in a relationship like that. It's never healthy. Never healthy at all. If you think to yourself, I can truly forgive him, I can truly move past this and adhere to my duties as a wife and respect him, even though he did this, then work at it. You know what I mean? Work at that. Move towards it. If you're Christians or Catholics or something, go to your priest. You know what I mean? Talk to him about it. But you can definitely move forward in that, you know, in that regard. You know, make that attempt. But if you think to yourself, yeah, no, I'm always going to resent him for it. I'm always going to see him as a cheater. You know, I'm never going to fully forgive him. I'm always going to hold it against him. You know, you guys are arguing. Yeah, but you remember when you cheated on me type shit. It's never healthy. It's never good for either of you. Start something new. You know what I mean? You left a bunch of family and friends. You have like a support system. Go back to those people. Get your life back together. Find another guy who's able to give you what you want and able to respect you, you know, in that way and everything like that. You know, you're able to do that. But in that relationship like that, it's very difficult. Very difficult. So just keep an eye.
Just be smarter next time, dude. Like, you're already diving in, and
yeah, no,
that's another thing. People don't appreciate it.
Year.
Yeah, like less than a year, man.
Like,
and
moving like across like the city or something, whatever. But interstate, damn, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous,
yeah,
man.
Wild.
Friggin', and then those are the type of people that also blame, oh, if it happens to a guy too, but that's the type of female that would be like, oh, all men are pigs. I said, no, I mean, you're wrong, you know. And at the end of the day, you were the idiot that decided to, oh, I only know this guy for like what she said, coming up on the first year, so let's say 10 months. I only know this guy for 10 months. Let me freaking dive in.
How
like,
much do you really know him?
Yeah, how much do you really know him? And this is already a peep into, what do you call it? Into what the rest of the relationship might look like.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
It hasn't even been a year, and you already caught a glimpse as to what the dynamic is already. Do you really want to stick around and find out what the next 50, 60 years are going to be like? Or if you're dating that person and you're not married to them, do you want to just take advantage of that opportunity and start over?
That's what it is. You know, that's what it is. You know he's susceptible to it now.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, it's based off of, you know, he could change, man. He could.
Or just become a nun and dedicate yourself to Christ. You know, the one that never fails, the man that will never fail you.
That is always
an option.
It's always a good choice.
Yeah.
It's always a good choice. But that also comes with the fact that you need to shut your mouth at times a lot more. You know, so there's also that. If you can't do that, then good luck. You know what I mean? But no, God will never cheat on you. You know, so
you'll cheat on him, but he won't cheat on you.
Yeah, he'll forgive you. You know what I mean? Truly. You know, you got to seek it first, but yeah, he'll truly forgive you. But yeah, no, I mean, I would say if you think you're always going to resent him for it, leave. If you think that you're able to truly forgive and move forward and see if you can change, then try it, you know?
Yeah.
Work at it.
You've only invested a little less than a year, so you're not losing much if you do decide to start over. Yeah, you do. You definitely have options.
If you had kids, if you were married,
a mortgage, this is but dude, you can cut it off clean.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one. We're going to Am I the Asshole now. Am I the asshole for refusing to be my family's 24/7 problem solver just because I'm the young one who knows things? I, 23 male, swear my family has decided that because I'm the youngest adult, I automatically know how to fix everything. Not just tech everything. Last week, my cousin, 26 female, called saying her phone, quote unquote, won't turn on. I told her to hold the power button. She said, I did. I get there. She held the volume button for up to 20 minutes. While I'm fixing that, my aunt, 44 female, goes, since you're already here, can you help me with my laptop? It's not working. She had the charger plugged into the wall, but not the laptop. Then my mom, 58 female, pops her head in like, can you set up my new Roku real quick? Real quick equals 45 minutes of her asking why everything needs a password. At this point, I told them, I don't mind helping sometimes, but y'all call me for every little thing. I can't keep driving over here every day for problems y'all can Google.
Oh, he has to drive.
Yeah, that stuff. They all got offended immediately. My aunt said, I changed, quote unquote. My cousin says, I don't care about my family. Shut up, bitch. The fuck? My mom said, I always have an attitude when people ask for help.
Bro, all for some technical difficulties.
That's your mom, bro. But shut up, bitch. You know what I mean? My grandma hit me with the classic, you young folks think you're too good for your own family. No, sorry, I'll say it better. You young folks think you're too good for your own family. Now, apparently, I'm selfish because I drew a boundary. I told them I'll help them with real problems, but not constant emergencies that aren't emergencies. Now, everyone's passive-aggressive, and my mom said, don't worry, I'll just wait until you feel like helping, which somehow feels worse. Am I the asshole?
Definitely not.
That's some funny-ass shit, though, bro.
You know, we're called to serve other people.
Yeah.
Even when they're difficult to serve. And, I mean... Before I dive into that, what 26-year-old doesn't know how to turn on a phone? Holds the volume button.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, really?
26? I mean, if you were like 47, 50, maybe.
Even then, it's a little hard.
Yeah,
to
but 27, 26?
26 female, bro.
Dude, that is wild.
I understand. She's too busy throwing her ass in a fucking club, so she can't really get.
She only knows that technology. She only knows how the camera works.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't know anything else.
She only knows Instagram, you know. But she can't get to Instagram if she can't turn the phone on, you know. But
no, man, definitely not the asshole. Freaking, you gotta set boundaries. Like with our sister, for example.
He wasn't even being a dick about it either. He was like, "Listen, guys, I love helping. You know, I'm open up, but I can't be coming here."
To be fair, you're hearing it from his side of the story.
That's the thing we gotta focus on. That's the thing we gotta keep in mind, guys. Going through "Am I the asshole?" It's always the people who are writing its
perspective. Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
From their perspective.
Yeah, there's always another side of the story. So I always take this like, from what I'm reading, this is my opinion.
Based on the context given, this is my assessment.
Here, this is what I think. You know.
Yeah.
There could be other things that are happening here that I have no idea about.
Maybe he snapped at them one day. It's like, oh.
Maybe he cut them or something with a knife. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, a whole number of things could have happened that changed the story completely. From what we see, this is what we think. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like with our sister, for example. You know how like our parents are always trying to get us to invite your sister to this. Well, they used to, because now they see the lights, and they're fed up with her as much as we are. But anyway, like basically you're called to serve others, but at the end of the day, you can't do it at your own expense, and people have to understand that, because if they love you and if they care for you and all that stuff, then they'll respect your autonomy. They'll respect that you're a human being that also has needs and wants and all that stuff. Like, you know, again, our sister, not to bash her or anything like that, but she grew up in an environment where everybody's needs were set aside for her, and that creates people that go from, like Squidward and SpongeBob, from being, oh no, you've already done enough, thank you, I don't want to be a burden, to expecting that from you. And that creates an unhealthy dynamic. And at the end of the day, no, you're not the asshole, you know, from what you've told us.
Yeah, from what we know.
Yeah, set a healthy boundary. You can't be going, you know, over and driving. I mean, if they want to pay you every time, like your
geek, pay my gas money, bro. I'll get you some
help, Geek Squad or something like that, you know, right. Friggin' or either that or be like, hey, you know, I'll walk you through it over the phone. That's fine. But I mean, yeah.
Or you know what? I'll come to the house. I'll teach you how to use Google, and next time you can use Google for that. You know?
And I can relate to that guy, because it's like, dude, you set a boundary, and it's like, no, man, you guys are not being, what do you call it? You're not being appreciative of my time, or you're not being respectful of my own personal time. That I have my own responsibilities to take care of. I have my own life that I got to live, and I can't put it on hold every time that you guys can't figure out where the power button is on the freaking remote.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, and I relate to that, because as soon as you set a boundary, you were always the yes man trying to serve and all that stuff. As soon as you set a boundary, once a dick, always a dick. You know?
I wish I had that sound effect.
Yeah, like, dude, it's ridiculous. No, dude, you can't be
It's like
Don't have
it's the
technology.
guilt tripping too.
Yeah, it's
It's
the
like,
guilt tripping and the gaslighting. Like you're always the problem. This is and that. You're always giving attitudes. Like no, bro. Like it's ridiculous. I show you how to do it every single time, and you still don't get it. How about this? How about you just don't have technology if you can't handle it on your own?
yeah.
Just like that.
I mean,
Easy.
if you don't know how to use Google, man, how the hell are you gonna live? You know what I'm saying, with a phone, you know, or really any technological advice, you know, or device. Sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I think people confuse a lot the turn the other cheek with let them walk all over you. You know,
Yeah,
you don't have to do that, man. You don't have to do
definitely.
that.
Turning the other cheek, to clarify for people. It was not to be literal. Okay, back
Yeah,
then.
I'll let you slap me. You know what I mean? Well,
Yeah, back then, a slap to the face wasn't really like a violent act. It was more of a disrespectful act. Like nowadays, you use your words to disrespect people. Back then, it was a slap to the cheek. It wasn't like a. It wasn't the way that we take it now. A slap to the cheek is like an automatic fight. No, a slap to the cheek back then was a disgrace. So when they say turn the other cheek, it means don't what do you call it? Don't look for vengeance. Okay.
yeah,
Obviously, if someone is attacking you or whatever,
defend yourself.
you have the obligation to defend yourself or other people. But if someone is slapping you on the cheek, metaphorically speaking, that they insult you or whatever, don't sink to their level.
Yeah,
Give them your other cheek. In other words, just walk away.
yeah. It's like it's like I don't know if you've seen the show The Chosen or anything like that, but you know, it's like the Roman soldiers, that one scene where they were forcing Jesus and his disciples to carry their armor and stuff like that on their backs. You know, it's obviously like a very tiring thing, and it's very demeaning. You know, it's like you're our servants, you're our slaves,
Yeah.
or whatever. And then he's like, okay, it's only 1 mile. We're allowed to make you walk. So now give us back the stuff. And Jesus was like, no, it's all right. We'll keep helping you out. That's what he means by turn the other cheek. It's like, you know, don't stoop down to somebody's level in disrespect or in pride or nothing like that, you know. But if
Yeah.
you're being actively harmed, your life isn't on the line or
Yeah.
something like that. Defend yourself. You know what I mean? Or for that matter, if you are, you know, if there's anybody, you know, there's an innocent that's in trouble or something like that, defend them. You know what I mean? There's that aspect. So, you know, turn the other cheek is not let whatever be done to you be done
It's
to
not.
you.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
not literal.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
people get that shit confused a lot, but yeah, it's like with this guy, going back to the am I the asshole? This guy, man, bro, just say, you know,
If it's all true,
yeah,
no, you're not the asshole.
yeah, you're not just you know, even if they don't agree with the boundary, maintain the boundary, bro. You know,
Yeah.
if they're truly your family and if they're worth keeping in your life, they might be a little salty at first, but they'll get over that shit, bro.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
you program them to expect you to help,
Yeah,
but if you stick to the boundary, usually they'll chill out.
yeah, they'll be all right. You know what I mean? And if they're not all right, it's probably for the best. You just don't really communicate that much
Love
with
them from love them from a distance,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's that's the thing. It's you know, water the plants, and then once you stop watering them, you see which ones actually will stay alive for you, type shit. But yeah, that's that. I don't really have anything else to add on this. I don't know if you want to add something else.
No, we're good.
All right, that's it for the Reddit posts section of the show. We're gonna jump into some different topics here. Let me look at my show notes real quick. You guys are gonna get this page turning ASMR. All right. So we touched a little bit about earlier on in the show in the introduction. We touched a little bit about your career aspirations. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a neurologist or a physiologist.
Physiatrist.
I was in the ballpark. All right. So that's kind of like, you know, that's kind of your career aspirations, right?
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to jump in a little bit or dive in a little bit on kind of why, you know, kind of what, or I guess you actually talked about that. It was our uncle, but what was, I guess, the thing that led you? Because we heard what kind of led you to being a doctor in general. Was our uncle talking to you about you know, helping people, medicine and stuff like this? What really led you to the speciality of neurology, and or physiatry?
Physiatry. Yeah.
Fucking W, guys. What kind of led you to that specifically, out of everything else? Because I mean, you know, medicine, health. There's a lot of different specialties. Why that specifically? Why the brain? You know, the nerves and stuff like that.
Well, to me, the brain is the nervous system in general. Just controls pretty much everything else. Like, you know, it's just so intricate. that, just to put it into perspective for you, the book that I was reading, actually, I brought it here. This one right here. The
It's
Brain
not
That
even.
Changes
It's not even
Itself.
his book, and he's promoting that shit.
Yeah, it's a amateur. You know, I'm not. I want to preface all this by saying that I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything
He's not a
about
doctor yet.
Yeah,
You know.
and I could get a lot of details wrong because I'm still, like I said, just starting to pick up books on this and try to absorb as much information as I can. But just to give you an idea, okay, all the particles in the universe, it's a 10. If you put a 10 and then you put like 70, 79 zeros after that 10, that's the number of all the particles in the universe. The human brain, however, with all the possible connections that it can have just within the brain, okay? A 10, but with a million zeros behind that, okay? So compare 10 with 79 zeros to 10 with a million zeros. That shows you why the human brain is considered to be the most complex, thing in the known universe. You have scientists at NASA or whatever the hell, and they know a lot about space, right? Obviously, we have, I don't know how they figured out methods of being able to, see that far out or figure out how far that thing is, or if that star is still around, or if it's dead or whatever. I don't know, but they know quite a bit about space. But when it comes to the brain, there's things that are astonishing that you can't really explain. Hallucinations, dreams, morality. Why are we, what do you call it, more developed than apes, for example? We can explain the mechanics or whatever the hell, but we can't explain where all this came from or why we're like this and nobody else or nothing else. It's not just that, but it's also how the nervous system reacts to different things. I'm a World War II nerd. I really enjoy World War II
Historical guy,
stories
specifically
and
that.
all that stuff. But if you look at a lot of these military stories, and especially in combat, you see guys that push past the boundaries. And what facilitates all this? The neuronal connections. Your reflexes being just a tad bit faster than the next guy is the difference between life and death. You know, pushing past getting shot 15 times and still not dying because your adrenaline is coursing through your veins so intensely. What facilitates all this? The brain. And not just that, but I believe that the brain is, since I'm a Catholic, I believe that the brain is like the, how can I say, the closest mirror that we have to our Lord, right? It's the most complex thing in the universe. And as we know, God is infinitely more complex than anything we can find in the universe. So our brain, our nervous system is the closest thing that we have to God, to resembling God. And that, to me, I don't know if it makes any sense, but that to me, it definitely intrigues me. Because it's like the artist, right? What's the closest thing that you have to the artist? The painting. But what's the closest out of all the paintings, out of all the creations of the artist, which is the one that resembles him the most, or the one that you can get the biggest glimpse or biggest understanding into him the most? His most profound, most complex art piece, because that shows
His magnum opus.
exactly, because that shows the skills on full display, right? And we're just a fraction of what he's capable of. But this right here is his magnum opus. Yeah, it's definitely like the centerpiece, the crown jewel of his creation. So that's another reason why I'm interested in the nervous system. That and all the geeky shit, all the connections to the muscles, how it adapts to stress, why you're shaky when you work out, but then once you're 2 weeks, 3 weeks into working out, you're not shaky anymore. How you're able to balance, how you're able to use your senses to send signals to your brain so that it can interpret it as sight, smell, touch, whatever. All these things that it allows us to interact with the world around us. It's actually very fascinating, and how we adapt as well as human beings through our nervous systems.
Yeah, working out is a very big part of that for you, which is like the reason why you wanna, or the reason why physiatry
Physiatry interests me as well. Yeah. So I mean,
kind of working out aspect intertwined with all of that.
Yeah, exactly. I recently got into working out, like seriously working out. You know, like consistently. I got into it like maybe half a year ago, and just seeing the development of my body and how it can adapt to stressors and all that stuff, and how the pre-workouts hit different than the coffee by itself or whatever the hell. Just the whole entire aspect of working out also intrigues me. How the muscles develop, how your bones get stronger, how your what do you call it, your sense of balance, it gets sharper, and all these things as you age. Definitely as you age, you get to see what you sowed. You reap what you
Yeah.
sow. So the working out is a big part of my life right now in terms of stress management and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So physiatry also interests me because of that. Now, if I can find a synergy between neurology and physiatry, in other words, how to use neurology to be able to give people good um, physiological care, good physical therapy and stuff like that. Like stroke patients or what do you call it, people that have been in car crashes with nerve damage or whatever the hell. That would be awesome because I get to see in real time how the body bounces back and how resilient the body is. And the body is very delicate because it can get hurt from anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's very resilient because even though it's easily hurt, it can bounce back.
It has a crazy healing factor.
Exactly.
Absolutely crazy healing factor.
Exactly. So that's basically where I'm at right now. Obviously, I won't be able to tell exactly what I want. I could be speaking highly about neurology, and physiatry would be like my number two. But also, I feel like a big determining factor will be later on once I do my rotations, once I get into medical school and I actually
Stuff,
hands-on training at the hospitals and all that stuff. I get to pick some what do you call it, rotations. So I'm definitely gonna put physiatry and neurology in it. And who knows? A big factor is gonna be the patients.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of different people with a lot of different problems. If in neurology, I feel like I'm more fulfilled seeing how people come and need and bounce back versus physiatry, then that would be my choice.
Yeah, different problems you have to solve.
Different problems, exactly, and different ways that I have to approach it.
Yeah.
And what I like about physiatry that I am not sure if I'm going to see in neurology, very often is the hands-on part. Showing them how to do these movements,
Yeah,
how to
for sure.
all that stuff. It's physiatry is definitely more hands-on than neurology.
Yeah.
But neurology is definitely, like the material itself is like really interesting. So
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
it's tugging at me. So that's where I'm at right now. That's how I got to that point.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I share your intrigue in the topic. I don't share your passion for it, I suppose, in the sense that going into learning that and becoming a doctor and everything like that. But your interest in it or your intrigue in it, 100%. I mean, the brain is extremely interesting and intriguing as to how everything works. I mean, it's basically like a fucking supercomputer in the damn head, and you talk about working out and stuff like that, and that's it's awesome how that works with the muscles and how it connects to the nerves and the nerves with the brain and everything. But also, being able to train your muscles, make them bigger, stronger, but also other things, right? It's like F1 drivers, for example. They train their fucking reaction time.
The reflexes, yeah.
It's like even the brain can be trained like a muscle.
Definitely plastic, yeah.
Yeah, it's
plastic,
like you can train that, and you could become better at reaction time and stuff like that. Besides just like the muscle and the strength and everything, also the brain
skills,
power,
yeah.
reaction time, cognitive ability, so like problem solving and stuff like that. You can train all these different things. It's awesome, you know what I mean? It's cool to learn. I mean, even then, you're going to be going to school for it. You're in one way or another, you're training your brain in order to process all this different information. You're training yourself to become a doctor, but that's like brain shit,
Yeah.
It's
all facilitated by the brain, exactly.
It's like you're working out, but you're working out
your mind, yeah, exactly.
or like cognitively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool to think about for sure, and the whole body in general is like it's a treasure trove of God's like strokes, his paint strokes, paintbrush strokes. It's just like an insight in as to like
the crown jewel,
the
crown jewel.
Yeah, and it's another thing we talked about this a while back as well, but the different like I guess reflections you can see from the human body and the way the nerves look, the veins look, and how you see roots on trees in the ground, or you
Very
see
similar.
or
Very
you see
similar.
like stars in the sky and the way they connect and everything. Very similar stuff. and it's like you can truly see in that, and the way nature looks and the way our bodies look, you can see God's image. You can see God's imagination in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they all kind of resemble the same thing.
Yeah.
They're all kind of like interconnected,
No,
and you
for
could
sure.
see, you could definitely see that it comes from one source if you really like think about it.
Yeah.
Not just scientifically, but like if you use your heart
Yeah.
to see the image behind the image, you definitely make those connections.
Yeah. Even if you don't think Jesus was a God, right? There has like that kind of pushes you. At least for me, it pushed me logistically, like intellectually speaking, it pushed me towards like this all looks like it was made from the same person. It's like
Yeah.
you see a Vincent Van Gogh painting. Every painting that Vincent Van Gogh makes, there's going to be similarities in every painting.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same painting, of course.
But
It's gonna look
the
different.
style is there.
The
Yeah.
style is always going to be the same. There's going to be repetitions in the way he does things,
Yeah.
and I feel like you could see that in God's image.
In creation, yeah.
Yeah, in creation, trees and the roots. You can see it in our nervous system. You can see it in our vein, in our circulatory system.
Yeah.
You can see it in a lot of different things, and even in the technology we have created or we have invented, and all the ones and the zeros and the code and everything. It looks a lot like how our brain works.
Yeah, like a computer, basically. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
it codes it.
it's definitely something to think about, and I think people. I've always said this. I think people can get to God through logic, and one way to do that is understanding the similarities in God's creation. For sure. But nonetheless, when it comes to we kind of moved on, or I kind of moved it a little bit towards the theological. But when it comes to neurology, there's a path to it. You want to become a doctor. There's a path to this. What is the most, I guess, daunting part of what you're going to have to go through in your training to become a doctor? You know what I mean? Like you're seeing, you see the process from the outside. You got to go to you got to go to school, get your bachelor's, get all these different types of stuff. You got to go to med school. You got to go through your freaking rotations. You got to become a resident. Then you become a doctor. What is the thing that you see and you're like, damn, I'm
Intimidating.
I'm like, you know what? I really can wait to do that. To be honest, what's the thing?
Applying for medical school.
Really?
That's, dude. I wasn't, what do you call it? Always as well, to be honest with you, I'm still a pretty big piece of shit, but even more so back then. I wasn't as driven.
We're growing.
Yeah, a work in progress, but back then it was like really bad, no sense of direction. And the first few years of my college career have been subpar, so my GPA is already not gonna look so hot.
Yeah.
I still have time to make it up, and I will make it up, but there's only so much you can do after you've already damaged it.
Yeah, it's like credit.
So the most daunting part that I'm really not looking forward to is applying for medical school, because I know that if I get into medical school, everything else is just gonna be, not cake or anything like that, but everything else is gonna be doable.
Yeah.
Because if I can do that, which I feel in my mind, that feels like the biggest wall, the biggest hurdle I gotta go over, then I can do pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
But if in other terms, in the training aspect, the one thing that I know about that I am not looking forward to so much is probably gonna be
Fucking student loans, man. That's gonna be it.
Oh man, no. I mean, look at Dr. Glockenflecken. I think he was paying like $3,000 a month for his student loans. Man.
No, but
Yeah.
you get to that point, you making bread though.
Your first few years after graduating medical school, you're not making that much.
Residency is like what, $50,000 a year, something like that. I've heard.
I think the average was like around $70,000. Obviously, depending on your specialty, but
Yeah.
it lands in that ballpark, like the high 10s.
And then rotations, you're not really getting paid.
Rotations,
For that, right?
no, because rotations is for medical school.
Yeah, you're still,
So
like,
think about it
learning
like
medical school.
clinicals. Nurses and Maryland, she had surgical tech school and she did clinicals. That's their version of rotations. So you're just doing training for school. You're not an employee. You're not, like residents. Residents are already doctors, but they're doing on-the-job training. That's why they're getting paid less. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, probably rotations is what I'm gonna not want to do the most.
Yeah.
Not because, you know, of the long hours and stuff like that, but probably because they're gonna place you. I know there's some rotations that are mandatory, like pediatrics. I know that's gonna be mandatory. I don't mind kids. Yeah, I mean, I got 3 kids, so
Yeah.
I'm not great with kids, but I know my way around kids. But things like surgical stuff, like surgery, neurosurgery, all that stuff, I'm really not looking forward to that because you're just standing there for hours and hours. And Marilyn actually, when she was doing her clinicals at Cleveland, she told me that there was one medical student. He wasn't even a resident yet. He was a medical student that he was doing his rotations and surgery. He was there from like 6:30 in the morning, and he wouldn't go home until like 8 at night, from what she told me.
You
And
see, you
that,
really gotta love a thing, man. You really gotta love a thing.
yeah. I mean, definitely there's going to be a lot of things that I won't be looking forward to. I'm a
Yeah.
very anxious person. I'm not really. If I'm speaking to a stranger, I can carry on a conversation, or like a couple people.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to presentations and standing in front of a group of people and actually speaking, I've never been good at that. So that's definitely one thing that I'm not going to be looking forward to. I got to get over it. But, there's something
Oh yeah,
about
because being a doctor, it comes along with that, right? You have to do presentations in front of a lot of people and stuff like that.
some medical schools require presentations. Others are just like, nah, just submit your
No,
your
I'm
what do you
saying
call
like
it?
as a doctor, like when you're already a doctor, you have like
Oh,
meetings you have to do with a bunch of people, and
I mean,
especially if you're the head of a department.
yeah, but it's gonna be with the team. It depends. Obviously, if you're a doctor in a bigger department, you're gonna have a bigger crowd
Yeah,
to speak to. But
you're gonna know them as well, like for the most part. So
yeah, but and at the same time, it's like it's not necessarily a guarantee that you're gonna be in that situation
yeah,
for sure all the time.
might be like TV show shit I'm thinking about, but anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm afraid of public speaking. That's gonna be one of the biggest like nerve wreckers for me.
Yeah,
But to be honest with you, I don't want to be. I think being able to speak in front of a group of people is really cool, especially when you have a lot to share
yeah,
and when you have a lot that you wanna give to them. I think it's a really cool thing. But yeah, that's one of the things that I'm not looking forward to.
yeah. I mean, like everything else comes with training. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
the more you get in front of a group and you start talking and stuff like that, you'll feel more comfortable with that for sure. But
yeah,
no, it's definitely. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm the most shy guy in the world. I'm not gonna say I'm the most outgoing guy either. I see a lot of people, outgoing ass motherfuckers, just stand up in front of a group of people and they just know how to control it. It's like that's a talent right there. You know what I mean? So even being able to have like a fraction of that ability is still really cool to have. But no, for sure. You have anything else you want to say about that, or
about medical school or neurology in general or what?
I mean, the question I asked basically was like,
What am I not looking forward
yeah,
to? No, I mean that's pretty much it. Just those minor things.
okay,
But everything else should be pretty fun.
okay. I
Stressful.
mean, yeah, no.
Stressful as well because I hear that
Oh, dude,
the first, like, as soon as you start medical school, like your first year, they're spitting so much information at you. You think 4 years is a lot to learn all this stuff, but apparently it's not that much time. You feel like it's going by like a bullet train.
yeah,
They say that the first like class that you have, it feels like trying to drink water out of a fire hose. There's just so much information you don't know where to start,
yeah,
and a lot of these things you got to teach yourself so that when you get to class, you're not lost in the sauce. You're
yeah,
able to keep up with the professor. So
yeah,
very stressful, but at the end of the day, if it's meant for me and I'm right about what I want to do, I'm spot on, then it should be just an enjoyable process when I look back at it.
yeah, of course. I mean, you're gonna get to that point where, you know, your interest becomes your day to day life.
Exactly.
And you're actually gonna be able to have like things to say. You know what I'm saying? Like you have the interest, so you speak on interest right now, but you're gonna speak on knowledge and experience at some point.
Exactly.
So yeah, for sure.
It's the rewarding part about having a career that you actually enjoy.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's good to do what you love to do, and all God bless on everything, on all that process and everything like that. It's gonna be
Thank
a long
you.
one, but he'll be with you. He'll be with you. So.
Thank you.
But it's gonna be a pleasure to be able to see that as well myself. So, but final question about this topic specifically: you graduate, you're a doctor now. 10 years following that point, where do you see yourself in your career at that point? What are your aspirations at this point in time? Obviously, they can always change. This point in time, you graduated, you're starting your residency or whatever the case. 10 years from that point, where do you see your career?
So I'm already a full-fledged doctor, basically.
Full fledged. 10 years in.
10 years.
You already got there. Right now you're like 45, probably
Basically
43.
10 years after, basically the prime of my career.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not too old to be like, "Arr."
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, I'm not such a noob that I have to like, I don't know what I'm doing.
You've already been maybe 5 years in.
Yeah, the peak basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that I would like to do with that. Cause, you know how they say, you climb the mountain, but then you look for the next peak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're always trying to like stimulate yourself to do better.
Chew 5 gum, guys.
No, yeah, stimulate your senses, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe open up a private practice so I can have more control over how I treat my patients instead of being told, "Hey, you got to see these many patients in this amount of time, and you can't do this part, you can't do that part." If I can set up my own schedule, my way, see patients for the amount of time that I feel they need, and I have more control over the quality of the care that my patients receive, that would be a pretty good 10-year marker for me. Maybe even sooner than that. Who knows?
Yeah.
So private practice would be pretty cool. I haven't forgotten about the orphanage. So maybe start a foundation or something or maybe build an orphanage like from the ground up.
He wants to do Hogwarts Castle, man.
Yeah, like Hogwarts style shit, Definitely taking all the kids that society doesn't want. And it's not like obviously when you're thinking about it, it's a lot different than how it really comes out. So I know that I'm not naive enough to think that it's all gonna go to plan, and that it's not gonna have its own setbacks. But I know one thing I would really want to make sure is that I try to spend as much time with these kids at the orphanage, keep the number manageable, because if I accumulate too many kids, I can't take care of all of them at once,
Yeah, no, of course.
It becomes very impersonal. And kids that grow up without a connection, like in orphanages, they're just another kid. It's not enough. There's not enough caretakers to actually give them a one-on-one connection. Then they grow up very psychotically damaged.
Yeah.
Psychologically damaged, my bad. So I definitely want to make an orphanage, Hogwarts-style castle, very majestic and mysterious and all that stuff. Really
Gothic.
Cool. Yeah, Gothic. I love Gothic. I love Gothic style like that. And, use the money and the connections that I'll make throughout that career. Use that stuff to build a place where children can, be kids. Where they can actually feel like society hasn't forgotten about them, or at least someone gives a shit about them, Because at the end of the day, they're the most vulnerable people, and they're the future, and who, when you look at these YouTube videos of these parents that got arrested because they were burning their kid with cigarette butts, or friggin' they were raping, graping them, or they were just doing all these atrocities. Like, dude, who the hell does that to kids?
Diddlers.
Yeah, who the hell does that to kids? Or these trafficking rings.
Yeah.
With Epstein and all that stuff. Like, who the hell? You have to be the lowest of the low to actually hurt an innocent child. Abortions too.
Yeah. No,
Take all these kids in as many as I can to be able to actually make a difference.
Yeah. No.
Not just become a doctor because I want to be the best and I want to make a lot of money and I want to feel good about helping these people. No, use that. What people consider the crown jewel of my career, of my
career,
existence, becoming a doctor. Use that and be like, nah, bro, that's just a stepping stone. That was for me. That was for me to have my own little adventure. Now it's time to give back and actually make this work happen.
Yeah.
So definitely in 10 years, I see myself doing either one of those or maybe both. I don't know. Sky's the limit. Friggin' only God knows.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, abortion, a great evil of our time, 100%. Helping out the kids is a very big thing. The future of our country, essentially, and we as a society have forgotten them for sure. Yeah. But that's very awesome. I'm gonna be walking through that castle with with a very nice robe and
With a robe, yeah.
and a wand in my hand. You know.
Gryffindor.
You better have like fucking lamps and shit that I can do this and it'll turn on. You know.
I'm gonna know, dude. I'm gonna set it up like real nice. I'm gonna.
You can have a big ass cafeteria with the fucking windows in the back and shit.
A feast every day. Yeah, it's gonna be very Harry Potter-esque.
Yeah. No.
Okay, they're gonna be different houses, but the houses are gonna be different saints. The Augustinians, the Thomas.
I wonder if there's a Saint Potter. You can call it the
Saint Potter.
The Saint Potter's orphanage. No. Saint Potter. Imagine.
30 points to the Augustinians.
Bro, I just searched up Saint Potter, and it's a picture of Draco Malfoy saying Saint Potter. Remember that?
Yeah, bro, that kid would wind it back with his lips. Bro, he snapped every time.
Yeah. Same thing with what's his name? Snape.
Snape.
Yeah. All right. Well, when it comes to that, we pretty much touched on that already. All right. Let me see what else we have on the notes. On the notes. We've been at this for an hour and 55 minutes. So I think right now it's probably a good time to go into the Twitter videos, react to some of those, and then we can close out the show after that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. I feel like we've been having great conversations, and honestly, I'm thinking about it, and there's just so much more we can talk about, so many different things we can actually go into, and I mean, we would talk if we
5
left
hours,
our own
maybe.
devices, we'd probably read 5 hours.
5
but
hours.
No,
just to warm up.
Yeah, for sure. We could definitely have a part 2 to this podcast if you guys like.
Yeah.
Drop a like in the video, drop comments down below, ask him questions. Maybe he can answer it on the next edition as well.
Or if you guys didn't find it interesting, no hard feelings, you know.
Talk shit on it. Listen, it's more.
Yeah.
It's more like for the algorithm. It's better for me. You know. What
Yeah,
I mean? So,
that's fine.
but no, I mean, I think we had pretty good conversations so far, and I think the show's been very padded with a lot of good stuff, a lot of good, back and forth and things like this. Like I said, a lot more to talk about. I feel like there's a lot more we could talk about, and it would take us. I have like a ton of more notes, but we've been almost 2 hours at this already, so we got to push it to the Twitters.
Yeah.
He's got work tomorrow. I got work tomorrow, so we got.
Don't want to shorten your brain spans either.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Fucking
Too much media. Can I actually read a little excerpt from this book?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
While you load up the Twitter feed or whatever. All right, check it out. It's about media, right? Let's see if I can find it. Should be here somewhere.
All right, while you look for that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, guys. We bring these shows every single Wednesdays and Fridays, or at least I try to. All right. We had a phenomenal episode with Rob Noor. Yes, you heard that right. Rob fucking Noor. If you guys are interested in that, check out the channel. Check out the videos we've posted. If you're on Spotify podcast, we just go to our channel. Everything is at CatFiveBoys, the same way it's written on every single platform. Check out the podcast we did with Rob Noor. It was a phenomenal show. He is a very interesting guy, and he had a lot to say about politics and about society as a whole. It was a very interesting, entertaining show. Go check that out, guys. Drop a like, and yeah, you found it?
Yeah, I found it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll try to just read the important parts. Friggin', it's about media. All right,
like
so
social media.
Not just social media, but like media in general, like TV, radios, videos, but especially TV. Like TV is, or the phone nowadays.
Yeah.
Because this book was written probably like in early 2000s, before social media was actually a thing. But anyway, it talks about how like it changes the brain. So for a little bit of context, when we say that the brain is plastic, whenever you hear someone say the brain is plastic, they mean that the brain can be rearranged, anatomically speaking, so that whatever you're training yourself to do or whatever you're habituating yourself towards, the brain rewires itself to seek out and make more efficient the connections so that you can carry out that task a lot easier, a lot more automatically, and all that stuff. So this one is on how brain plasticity is affected by TV. It says, we have discussed several reasons plasticity was not discovered sooner, such as the lack of a window into the living brain and the more simplistic versions of localizationism. But there's another reason we did not recognize it. One that is particularly relevant to the culturally modified brain. Almost all neuroscientists, such as Merlin Donald, writes As Merlin Donald writes, had a view of the brain as an isolated organ, almost as though it were contained in a box, and they believe that the mind exists and develops entirely in the head, and that its basic structure is a biological given. I'll skip a little bit. Television watching. One of the signature activities of our culture correlates with brain problems. A recent study of more than 2,600 toddlers showed that early exposure to television between the ages of 1 and 3 correlates with problems paying attention and controlling impulses later in childhood. For every hour of TV the toddlers watched each day, their chances of developing serious attentional difficulties at age 7 increased by 10%. I'll read a little bit further. One that I found really interesting when it comes to TV, that have you ever noticed that it gets a little hard to let go of the TV? Like you're like, okay, I'm only gonna watch 30 minutes. Next
Or
thing
the
you know,
phone, stuff like that.
yeah, next thing you know, you've been scrolling or watching Netflix, binge watching for like 10 hours. You're like, oh man, where did the time go? It's because of this right here. Television, music videos, and video games, all of which use television techniques, unfold at a much faster pace than real life, and they are getting faster, which causes people to develop an increased appetite for high-speed transitions in those media. It is the form of the television medium, cuts, edits, zooms, pans, and sudden noises that alters the brain by activating what Pavlov called the orienting response, okay? Which occurs whenever we sense a sudden change in the world around us. So like someone walking up to you, you know how all of a sudden like your mind fixates on that, like oh, and then okay, that is what the orienting response is, which occurs whenever we sense a sudden change in the world around us, especially a sudden movement. We instinctively interrupt whatever we're doing to turn, pay attention, and get our bearings. The orientation response evolved, no doubt, because our forebears, or ancestors, were both predators and prey and needed to react to situations that could be dangerous or could provide sudden opportunities for things such as food or procreation, or simply to novel situations. And it goes on, but basically it's saying that the orienting response is affected by the TV because the TV is firing different zooms, angles, all that stuff. It's feeding you so much information all at once that the primitive part of your brain can't differentiate. Okay, it's just TV versus this might be a threat or this is something that I need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So it does it like I don't know how many times a second, so that it's resetting your orientation response, so you're stuck paying attention over and over and over again. So that same thing that I told you, when someone walks up to you, you all of a sudden shift because you notice a sudden movement.
Yeah.
Is the same thing with the TV, but it happens over and over again. So that cycle continues, and that's why a lot of people, they're like, "Oh, I'm only gonna watch TV for 30 minutes, or I'm only gonna scroll on Instagram for like a few scrolls," and then next thing you know, 3 hours pass them by. You know.
Yeah.
So definitely something that alters attention spans. It definitely makes you like less able to read or to write or do things that are actually healthy for your brain, because your brain is so addicted to that fast-paced content that doing something that's actually meaningful and requires a little bit of effort is now difficult.
Yeah. It seems more more zombies in our society are being created because of technology and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's highly addictive, you know?
Yeah, no, it's super addictive. People don't understand, technological addiction is just as severe as substance addiction.
And it's so much easier to access too.
Much
Yeah.
easier, yeah. That's why like pornography, like once there's like
Pornography.
pornography. Once there's an accessibility that is as accessible as it is now, we've seen the number one, the addiction levels, but not only the addiction levels, but the consequences to that addiction and what's been happening. It's crazy.
It's just not taboo. That's the reason why, it's.
I mean, it
it's
is
so
taboo. Pornography wise, like watching it definitely is taboo. Like if you're
No,
a guy who watches-
I'm talking about media in general. But and
yeah.
I'll even drag it as far as pornography. That's not taboo nowadays.
I think making pornography is not as taboo for women, but men watching pornography is definitely taboo. I would say, like if you're a dude who watches porn, oh my goodness, porn, you're probably seen as a little bit less than like a manly man. You know what I mean? So, but like women who make porn, it's like, no, you're empowered. So for sure in that regard, which is why women shouldn't be allowed to vote. But that's not here nor there. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting how the brain, you we talked about it before. The habits, they change your brain physiologically.
And the more you repeat that habit, the harder
It is to
your
let go,
brain wires itself to. Basically, if it sees that it's something repetitive
Yeah.
that you do over and over again, like lifting weights or smoking a cigarette
It's like even the motion of doing this.
or routine, for example, like brushing your teeth in the morning, if you do it over and over again, when you wake up nowadays as an adult, it should be an automatic thing. You don't have to think about it. But if you try to not do it, it feels so wrong.
Yeah.
And that's because it's hardwired into your brain. Same thing with any habit. The more you do it, the harder it is to break it. It's a good thing if it's a healthy habit, something that's going to make you productive, but it's bad if it's something that you have to unlearn, like not hitting the snooze button, or people that lay on the couch or in bed all day, every single day, and do nothing. It's very hard to break out of that habit.
No, yeah, it's the brain is very malleable. That could be a good thing.
But it can go both ways.
You gotta push it to the good thing. You know what I mean? So shape your brain into doing good shit, and you'll be a much more productive human being.
Yeah.
I'm working on that still, so I ain't perfect in that regard whatsoever. But
it's a work in progress.
yeah, no, for sure. All right, so let's jump into the Twitter's here. Twitter space, Twitter. Oh shit, sorry. I'm trying to adjust this real quick. All right, we're starting with this one right here. Let's start off a little fresh here. Women, we don't need men. Military, 95% men. Firefighters, 97% men. Coal miners, 95% men. Ship captains, 96% men. Welders, 94% men. Truck drivers, 90% men. Construction, 92% men. Oil rig workers, 96% men. Fishermen, 97% men. Surgeons, 82% men. Engineers, 89% men. The world goes around because of men.
I mean, that's a given.
That's just...
And why do we do it? For women. But what do they say? We can do it too. It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe. But, I mean, a lot of these things a woman can't do at the same capacity that a guy can do. Firefighters.
And that's what it is.
Firefighters, on average, a woman is not going to be able to lift as much as a guy. Their bone structure is not made for that. Mental capacity in the sense of like being, guys are so unfeeling. Why do you think we're more in the military, firefighting, all that stuff, coal mining? Because it's miserable work sometimes. A lot of the times, like a coal miner, I don't see a coal miner saying I love my job.
Yeah, right.
No, it's like I got to provide for my family. We're more objective.
Somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean?
Somebody's got to freaking do it.
Why aren't women doing it now that they're allowed to? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe it's because they don't want to fucking do it.
Especially nowadays, it gets a little hard. Women start crying.
Yeah,
it's so difficult. It's like
100%.
I have to provide for myself, and I have to. Okay, so basically everything that an adult male has to do, basically.
Yeah. What we've been having to do. You know what? We've actually shielded you from the responsibility of having to do this, and you wanted to. Here you go.
It wasn't enough. It's never enough.
Yeah, no,
it's never enough.
It's the simple fact that whenever you introduce a woman or women in general into a male-dominated field. Usually the quality goes down, and that's it's not me saying it, man. That's the stats.
It does it really?
It depends on what you do. For example, we can give a really good example. When you add women to a unit of men in the military, you see the performance of that unit go way down in comparison to a unit full of just men. There was a guy who was talking about this actually, a Navy SEAL, and he was doing cross training with a co-ed unit.
Oh yeah. The Marine Corps actually did the study on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So at the very least, we can see it just off military alone. That when you add women to a unit, that unit becomes less efficient, less capable than the unit that is just men completely. And you know what? I'll tell you what. If I was trapped in a burning building and I saw a woman coming to get me, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna pray to God. I'm gonna ask for forgiveness because I'm dead. I'm dead at that point. You know, there's really no hope for me at this point.
Well, and the Marine Corps study was on infantry.
Yeah.
So the women crumbled like fucking croutons.
Yeah, of course.
When they had too much weight. Biology does exist. Women have wider hips, and that does not. Think about holding weight. Think about holding weight while having wide ass hips. That's a lot of tension on a big surface area. If you keep it compact like men's pelvises, men have narrow pelvises, and that means that all the weight is going to be stacked evenly, so it's not going to hurt as much. That's why females have more injuries. But there are some things that women excel at in the military. I've heard from a lot of guys that females are exceptional. I don't know how.
At shooting? You're gonna say?
No. I don't know. I don't know how, like, what it is about that job that makes a female very exceptional on average. But I hear that I could be wrong. I hear from a lot of military dudes that females make exceptional pilots.
Pilots?
Like Apache pilots, Cobra pilots, and in general, anything that has to do with aviation, females are actually pretty damn good at it. I don't know how, like, what the correlation is.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt like helicopter pilots and things like that. But when it comes to like fighter jets, I don't see that as like. I don't believe that, to be honest. When it comes to fighter jets, when it comes to like
Yeah, it's kind of like Formula One.
Yeah,
The G forces are going to be a lot heavier in a female than a male body.
No, 100%. Yeah, no. I mean, like I said,
But helicopter pilots,
Yeah.
I hear that they're pretty damn good at
when
that.
it comes to that, I can see that. I can believe that probably. But when it comes to like jets and like
Physical shit, then that's a
like
different story.
that like G force, like you have to hold that shit like coming down. And shit. Yeah, no, that shit I don't really believe. At least on average.
You look like you're holding in a fart.
Yeah, no, you look like your fucking intestines gonna come out your damn pores, bro. Like, no, I wouldn't say like I would say generally like obviously there might be that one woman who's exceptional or whatever, but
there's always the exception. It doesn't make the rule. It doesn't make the rule.
That one exceptional woman proves that it's not the general. You know what I mean?
It's not the general rule. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is that, but I mean, regardless of anything. Number one, it's not even intelligent to put them in the military either. Like in a state of war or whatever the case, it wouldn't be intelligent whatsoever.
Especially not in the infantry. The guys will naturally. The way that we're wired is to protect the females and the children.
Yeah.
So naturally, even if a guy doesn't notice it or doesn't intend to, naturally they will protect the female more in the infantry unit than the rest of the guys.
No,
not to mention that you're in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. You haven't gotten any puss in a while, and guess what?
Women get graped like crazy. And listen, this is a horrible truth, a horrible reality of life. But let me ask you a question. You're you're going to war with the United States. You're an opposing military. And you hear that the United States is going to field a whole entire army of women completely. Are you not, like, absolutely jumping in your boots and celebrating?
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, war brings out the most primitive of mankind.
Yeah, 100%.
The civil
most savage, like,
the savage parts. You think graping is not going to be a part of it?
100%. And I was saying this to a woman I was debating on the show. You have women, you field women versus men. Like, the United States decides we're going to put women in all of our units and we're going to send them to war against China. Those Chinese men are going to grape our women and send them back pregnant with their babies in order to demoralize us as their own method of fighting. And women who we're going to send will have no ability to defend themselves against that whatsoever. No matter how many fucking M4s you give them, they're cooked, okay? That's just a reality of life. You know what I mean? So we see it in the military for sure when it comes to the effectiveness of those units. But, it was funny because you had started off with, like, women will still say, because you haven't allowed us to. Women can literally do all of these things, but we weren't officially allowed to do most of them until like the 1970s. Did you guys not like history at school or something? That's this person's.
Yeah, but the coal miner. Okay, you ask any chick, 9 times out of 10, you ask a chick, would you rather be a CEO or like not? Let's not even go that extreme. Would you rather have an office job or would you rather work at the coal mines? What are they gonna tell you? The office job.
And you know what's funny? She even
they want the privileged positions, but they don't want the positions that hold up society.
Oh, 100%. And she even granted herself until the 1970s. So let's just say that in the 1970s, let's just grant it to her because it's completely false.
It's been like 50 years, and
it's been 50 years,
and we still occupy most of those positions.
Yeah, why aren't women more coal miners now? Why aren't they more welders? Why aren't they more oil rig welders? Why aren't they more oil
truck drivers or freaking
Yeah, why aren't they truck drivers? Maybe because they don't want to be.
They don't want to.
They're not wired to
I forgot, and you just reminded me. I forgot what society it was. I think it was like a Scandinavian country. I think it was Sweden. I'm not sure that they did this whole entire thing that they had women. They gave women the ability to choose whatever they wanted to study or some shit like that. And naturally, they gravitated towards the more feminine roles, teaching, nursing, freaking all that stuff. It's like, bro, you can't deny that females are wired a different way than men. Emotionally, psychologically, all these things, man. It's just ridiculous to bro. Why are you trying so hard to be like men? I take it as a compliment that you're trying to be like
You want to be
yeah.
as important. So it's funny because look, let's just say again, this is absolutely not true. But let's just say she's correct. Since the 1970s, it's been 50 fucking years since you were allowed to do all these jobs. Today, the most common jobs for women include registered nurses, elementary and middle school teachers, administrative support roles, assistants, and office clerks. You're telling me you've had 50 years to break into this shit, and you're still the same jobs that you're still doing the same jobs that you did 50 years ago when you apparently weren't allowed to work.
You're being basically a mom outside of the house.
Yeah, you're like
You're nurturing outside of the house.
Support roles,
Yeah.
Support roles. That's what they gravitate.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. They do it great. They do a great job at it, dude.
I sure as fuck wouldn't be a good...
I'd rather have a female nurse taking care of me than a male nurse.
100%. Especially if...
I'd rather have a female teacher than a male teacher.
100%. I'd rather have an assistant be a female than a male. Because those males tend to have more of a low, less multitasking ability than women. Women are generally better at multitasking.
They're better at going from one thing to another.
Yeah, like dude, give me my coffee, give me my, set up my schedule, bro. W. But I mean, other than that, it's like, think about it this way: what is the one thing that women can do that men can't do?
Procreate.
Give birth.
What do you call it? Yeah, that thing. Give birth.
They're able to nurture the baby with themselves. You know what I mean? So biologically, you're already like wired to do this nurturing thing. And even when we take away your inability to go work, you still gravitate towards the nurturing in any sort of regard. You know what I mean? So it's
just gotta get this money though.
We go into the post, into this girl's comment. Let's look at the first thing that somebody says. The 1970s were 50 years ago. How long did it take for women to learn to weld?
Yeah, for real, man.
I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do?
I can't believe I said procreate.
Procreate.
Yeah, birth. That's what I meant.
It's all right.
It's ridiculous. It's been a long day. It's 22:43. It's been a long day.
It happens. We're gonna get done real quick. A couple more of these posts. We're gonna get wrapped up. It's already been 2 hours and 16 minutes. It's been a good show. All right. So we're gonna look at this one now. This one is coming from Why Women Get L's. Here we go. Let me move this to the side actually, and then let me
expand it.
Oh shit, wrong thing. Sorry guys, I don't know. I'm super what's it called? Unprofessional here. All right, so here we go.
If you guys want to take away abortion rights, if you want to tell us that we can't take painkillers while pregnant because it causes autism, if you want to take all this shit away, take away my right to work. Take away my fucking right to have a fucking job. I don't want to work. I don't want to work. Okay? I don't care about women's suffrage, frankly, after everything else. Okay, I don't mean it like that. You guys get what I'm saying. If you're gonna take away anything, take away my right to work. I will gladly sit at home and make a fucking sandwich if it means I don't have to go outside in this public hellhole every single fucking day where everyone's a psycho MAGA.
Psycho MAGA.
I can't take this anymore. You're telling me that pregnant women can't take over-the-counter painkillers? How does that make sense? How?
That loca.
No, she's fucking crazy. Honestly.
But I mean, it's like I don't know. Do I agree with her? Do I disagree with her?
Get back to the kitchen, man. W. I don't know.
But what are you trying to say? Like, if you're gonna take something away, take the right to work. What does that have to do with taking away the abortion?
Yeah, and when the fuck did working become a right, bro?
Yeah, dude.
I don't fucking want the right to work. Let me stay home, bro. What the hell?
This is the female species, the female gender, the female sex genome, whatever you want to.
The Gmail fender.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. This is the entire female being. This is their version in society of saying, I need to find myself.
Yeah.
She left the home. She had to go friggin' work. she needed to know what it was like to be able to vote and this and that. And guess what? Now they're more unhappy than ever. They don't know why.
They're more medicated than ever.
They're more medicated than ever, bro. Society has gone to shit.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it all stemmed from that stupid, absolutely ridiculous 19th Amendment, guys. Let's abolish that shit, all right? All right, anyways, let's get to it.
Feel getting divorced? How do you feel getting divorced?
Good.
Yeah. Are you gonna miss me?
No.
What is this?
Right?
Bro, this is so cringy. Oh, we're best friends.
How do you feel?
What is that?
This kind of ties into what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, full
About divorce
circle.
and shit.
Yeah, dude. Like you think it's like high school? You break up, you get back together, you break up again. It's like
Yeah,
no, man.
there's no like
There's no maturity in
Yeah,
this.
the sense of importance of marriage is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no wonder kids as their heads are so fucked up nowadays. Like you got parents like this.
Yeah, no.
You got people that don't. How are you gonna take care of your kid when you didn't even know how to take care of yourself? You know, and how to preserve your marriage, and you want to have kids?
Yeah, no. And this guy's a piece of shit too, man. Fuck that guy, bro. The girl, I mean, listen, I expect it from women, no cap, but from this dude,
The
man,
guy playing along with that,
yeah,
like,
no, it's absolutely, it's shameful, man. It's shameful. And to be honest with you, listen, they're probably secular. They probably don't belong to a church, at least a traditional one. I don't even see their marriage as valid anyway, so fuck them. But yeah, no, this is the
yeah,
society.
they're just boyfriend and girlfriend.
pretty much, yeah.
They were never really together.
Yeah, no, marriage, fucking marriage, more like a glorified fucking relationship.
People want to play house nowadays. That's all it is.
Yeah. All right. So this one, a little bit of context here. Do you know who Bobby Altoff is? This chick. She would do like interviews with like celebrities and stuff.
You didn't notice I said people want to play house nowadays, and I kind of gave you like a little side eye.
Listen,
Anyway.
we're getting good with that. All right? We're trying to redeem ourselves here. You know, we're trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? This guy. Let's tell him the backstory.
I always have food. I always have food waiting for me when I get back home.
That's how it should be, man. Listen, women, stay in the fucking kitchen.
And in exchange, I give her pretty much all I've got. So,
All you've got.
all I've got. I put her happiness before mine. Not my dignity before hers. No, I mean, not my dignity. What can I say? I don't put her happiness at the expense of my dignity and my position.
Yeah, her pride over your dignity.
She knows her place, and I know mine. That's that.
And his place is above her. All right.
Yeah, I am the head of the household at the end of the day.
That's how it should be. 100%.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, listen, women, your spot is right near the sink, and then right near the stove, and right near the ingredients. And yeah, I mean, listen, that's where you guys are the most beautiful. All right. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, she's becoming a surgical tech. She's gonna put me through school, but
This guy's gonna be a house husband, guys.
I'm gonna be so emasculated.
Dude,
I'm gonna be the one making meals.
I'm gonna clown this.
Nah,
guy.
hey, but guess what? Once I become a doctor, it's game over for the whole entire surgical
I
tech.
get about a decade of clowning this dude about being a damn house.
Six years tops, man. I'm
You're
like
half a decade, a little bit over half a decade of clowning this guy about being a house husband. And then after that, it's he's a fucking doctor, so I can't say shit. But for now, I can. So, anyways, so Bobby Altoff, this is a girl who was like she was a podcaster or whatever. She used to interview celebrities and stuff like that. She would interview Drake and a bunch of different celebrities, Mark Cuban, and she would do it in like a really deadpan way.
Who is that guy? Is that the dude from Vine?
I have no idea.
The annoying one?
I have no
All right, whatever. Anyway.
You talking about King Batch? No, it's not King Batch.
No, not King Batch. The other one. The one that he would... Forget it. Let me see if it is. I'll tell you if it is.
So this girl, so basically, okay, I'll read this. Bobby Altoff breaks down in tears after posting a video with her boyfriend and reading comments calling her ran through and saying she sleeps with every guy. So a little bit of a backstory. This girl left her husband and her child to go into Hollywood and become a celebrity.
To find herself.
Yeah, to become she became a celebrity.
To live her best life.
Yeah, and people saying now people say this is her new boyfriend or whatever. Shall I say a black man as well? She now people calling her.
All right, yeah, you know what? All right, continue.
What happened?
No, I'm not gonna dive into the black part. Go.
To the black part. Listen, man.
Hey, technically, we're brown, so people can't call us racist because everyone knows a Hispanic man can't be racist.
Listen, we were made to walk on the Trail of Tears, so we are allowed. Okay.
Oh yeah, bro. I got my ancestry.com DNA. All right.
I'm 2% African, guys.
No, I'm like 10% African.
Look at that. 10%.
I got 30% Central American, plus 1% like Mexican / Southwestern United States, which used to be Mexican.
It's like that guy. I can say the N word. I have a friend who has a friend who has a friend who was black.
I know someone who's black.
Yeah, all right.
I got the pass. I got the pass.
But look, you go into Hollywood and you got a black boyfriend. Let's just say you probably had a lot of other black boyfriends before him. All right. Nonetheless, this is her. I'm just do a little snippet because it's 4 minutes.
Today I posted a video of me and my boyfriend, and so many of the comments every single time I post him, which we've been together for a year, but without fail, every single time I post him, all of the comments are about how I'm ran through, and oh look, another one, or he probably doesn't know how ran through she is.
Oh man, her voice is so annoying.
Mean
right?
things, and and if I post any video, truly in general, the amount of hate comments I get,
always like this,
are just like unreal, and I think it's because I have a lot of men following me, and they just have so much to say. They have so many mean things to say, and
who gave them that opportunity,
as much
sweetheart?
as I wish that these comments didn't get to me, it's like I'm human, and if you got this many negative things said about you every day, it would get to you too.
I think it makes it even worse that it's probably true.
Who was it? That she gets negative comments every day?
No, that she's ran through.
That she's ran through. I mean,
so the comments bother her so much more because it's true.
And dude, like she's mid at most, to be honest with you. She's like your average
white
starter avatar on RuneScape or some shit.
Even when she like dolls herself up and does all the fucking filters and shit, she still looks mid. It's like, how the fuck does that even? That's how you know you're really mid, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you left your husband
and that goes to show how much easier it is for a female to find a partner.
Look at that,
bro. Average ass. I mean, she's not ugly, but she's average as hell. Like,
oh yeah, she's mid.
She's bland. Pan sin sal, man. Like,
yeah, bro. She got no seasoning. You know what I mean? But it's like you left your husband and you left your kid. Even if you're not ran through, bro, you should be shamed for that. All right?
Yeah, you went outside, and then the world beat up on you.
Yeah.
What do you expect? You left the sanctity of your home. You left your family behind. You gave everyone the opportunity.
Responsibility, and you fucking failed.
Yeah, you gave everyone the what do you call it? You put your life out there on social media as well. Let's not forget that part. Okay, so whatever you put out on social media right now, people can talk shit about me, and I agreed to the consequences of me popping up on this video and exposing myself to the world. It is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you can't have what you want and not expect there to be drawbacks to it. Yeah. You want it to leave your family. You want it to be a piece of shit. Like, you leaving your husband, fine, whatever. You know, everyone, it's not even taboo nowadays, but leaving your child is a whole different level of shitty parenting. Yeah. You know,
breaking apart a whole family.
But we're supposed to feel sorry for you because some people spoke negatively of you on social media. What do you think the damage is to your daughter or to your child?
Yeah, you want to take a BBC without having any consequences.
Yeah,
any sort of shame.
What kind of long-term damage do you think you did to your family? You got a fraction of what you deserve, and you got a fraction of what you inflicted upon your family that did nothing to you, basically.
You know, it's wild.
No, but she wants to play the victim. She's the one that we're supposed to feel sorry for. No, get out of here.
You know what's crazy? Because some people will actually feel sorry for her. If this was roles reversed, a dude left his wife and child and stopped providing for them in order to like fuck around in Hollywood.
Oh, he's a pig. He's a pig.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
No, but this chick is liberating herself from the oppressive patriarchy.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You know, so many mean comments online and every day.
They call me ran through. It's like, bitch, because you are, bro. You are ran through. That's like essentially what you are.
It's like these people cheering on the elimination of Charlie Kirk.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh,
why am I getting fired?
Why am I getting fired? Because I'm a piece of shit." And like,
okay, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, you can say whatever the hell you want. You got the freedom of speech. That's why you're not getting arrested. But you can't get fired because the company doesn't want to associate themselves with a piece of shit. You know.
Yeah.
And
you know what? It's so funny because for years and years and years, they would cancel Republicans, they would cancel conservatives, they would get them fired, they would get them deplatformed, they would destroy their entire lives, and that's okay because they were dangerous with their rhetoric. But the moment that
That happens to them, yeah.
You get fired for
For
celebrating
and
somebody's
for propagating,
Yeah.
encouraging that.
yeah, celebrating somebody's deletion from the world in a violent way in front of their children, in front of their wife, and you get fired. Now what?
Oh, that's
fair.
wild. You got
where's the freedom of speech, guys?
bro. You got fired for freedom of speech. Damn, that's crazy. Imagine being unalive for freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Like my boy over here.
Imagine not having a dad because he just wanted to talk. Like,
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The fucking double standard is wild.
Daughter.
This was so funny.
Kevin Hart gave a PR answer when Ziwa, that's how you pronounce it, asked him whether he'd rather have a daughter or a gay son.
This shit was so funny, bro.
Would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter?
I would rather have 2 healthy kids. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Is it too much to ask for none?
Dude, I would rather have 2 other kids. Bro, that PR answer was so good, bro.
Would you rather have a gay son or a thought
Oh shit.
daughter?
I would rather have 2 healthy kids. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
Bro, it makes it even funnier that
She's waiting for the answer.
yeah, he got canceled a couple of years back for saying that that if his son came to him with a dollhouse, he would pick up the dollhouse and slam it on his head and tell him not to be gay.
Could
And now he wants to be all PR about this shit.
be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man, son.
2 healthy children. And the fact that you have to, like, put them in those categories says a lot about who you are.
Oh,
Bro,
no,
switching the roles.
I'm just
Don't you
telling you, I
dare.
think the real problem is in the thinker.
Dude, and I can never take this guy seriously, man, I swear. I can never take him seriously.
Wasn't he like, you know what, let me not make any false claims here. I heard he was one of the diddled, you know.
Oh, yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how he became so successful or whatever.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. LeBum James, too. All right, so we're going to end.
Have you seen his squats? LeBron James
LeBron's?
squats?
No, he has skinny ass legs, bro. This man-
No, have you seen the way he squats?
Yeah, no,
He squats like he's arching that back for the.
No, I think his squats is Diddy training. You know what I mean? It's Diddy training day.
Dude.
All right, so we're gonna end it off on this this like thread of posts here. This shit is wild. All right, so you know Myron Gaines. All right.
Yes,
So-
I'm familiar with that man.
Yeah. So we have here Myron Gaines. This was a clip from. Do you know the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
they had Trump on, like
I'm pretty sure.
early, yeah.
But you know who Andrew Schultz is, right?
Yeah, he's the comedian, bro.
Yeah, that comedian guy. So, and you know the Indian guy he has on his show sometimes.
I've seen him sometimes, but I'm not too familiar with him.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, so they had him on the show. They had Myron on their show, so the Flagrant show, Fresh and Fit, both of them. So they had him on the show, and they were talking about like dating women and stuff like that. And Myron was giving his opinion and stuff like this. This shit, and listen, what you're about to see, there's more to it. Like it gets worse. Okay, so when you see this, don't think to yourself, this is as bad as it gets worse. All right. Let's watch.
The woman in the middle, hang on. The woman in the middle clip is Akash's?
Yeah,
wife?
Akash. So this guy's name is
Akash.
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 So Akash, this guy is the Indian. He's a comedian.
And he's one of the hosts, right?
Yeah,
Of the-
he is like the co-host of this guy. Andrew Schultz is also a comedian. So then these two guys are Fresh and Fit. This guy's
Yeah, I know Fresh and Fit. I know,
you
yeah.
Fresh and Fit. So they're a guest on their show. So they were having this conversation. Let's take a look. Oh wait, shit.
One person in the relationship.
All right, let me actually tuck my screen down here. Okay.
Whoever cares less has the leverage, and one person in the relationship, whoever cares less has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less.
Oh.
That's
We want the man to
wild.
always
That's
have the leverage.
childish as fuck.
And you
bro.
guys might not like
It
hearing
is
that.
childish.
But we truly feel.
I'm not.
that you
These aren't
have to-
new beliefs, bro. You're not telling me some shit none of us have ever heard. We all heard this.
I mean, I'm married. Akash is married. Mark is married, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's possible. Now, granted, we might call you in 10 years and be like, y'all were fucking right. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Because
So-
it didn't even take 10 years. All right.
Yeah, so basically, so I get the context right.
Yeah.
Akash is saying it's ridiculous to think that the guy has to be,
Childish as fuck, yeah.
yeah, it has to be the one that's the most emotionally, not detached, but like the most emotionally in control. Like the one that has the most leverage. Like
Yeah,
you're a
pretty much.
stone wall. You can.
Myron says it in a way that is gonna like rile people up, obviously, because that's like the whole point of
Yeah,
That's how you
but
use your shit.
men basically have to be more in control of their emotions than females do.
That's pretty much what he's saying. So like the person in the relationship, this is what Myron was saying. The person in the relationship who cares less is the one in control. So men should always be the one to care less.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, and that's the thing. Appearance wise, because I feel like men have to care more if they are to lead. You know.
I don't know. I feel like
Because I think I care more about.
Oh shit! I'm afraid.
For example, I think in the relationship, damn dude, no, Marilyn definitely cares more about me.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, and that's the way it should be. And I'll tell you why I feel that way. It's like
The loved and the beloved, and the lover, the one giving more of the affection and the dynamic,
yeah,
and the one receiving more of the affection.
yeah.
Yeah, usually when you if you look at it, from what I've seen, when men are the ones that give more love and the women are the one that receive it, they become spoiled.
And they get taken advantage of, right?
Yeah, they cheat and all that stuff. Basically, you're a simp.
Yeah. When women love more, what? We take care of them and we provide for them,
And they're always trying to meet our expectations. It creates a healthier dynamic because you're supposed to go up, not, you know.
It's always about like the way I see it. When they're saying like, oh, men should care less. Men should be the ones that care less than
Emotionally
women.
speaking, yeah, like
Just in general, in the relationship, right? That doesn't mean that as a man in a relationship you should not give a fuck about her whatsoever. Of course not. You should care. You know, if you're in the relationship, obviously you're gonna care. What it is, it's saying that you're the one who is not like in a level of like simp wise. You're less like she should be more of a simp to you than you are to her, right? Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, a woman who is on that position where she cares less than a man, what is the first thing that comes to mind? She cheats on him. She takes 50% of what he has. She emotionally cheats on him. She absolutely drags his name through the mud. She embarrasses him, all these different types of shit. She takes advantage of him financially. When you think of a man who cares less than a woman cares, what do you think? He's in a marriage regardless. He's still, he's providing for her. He cares for her. He protects her. That type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Guys are not really the vindictive type to go and like absolutely destroy your fucking life like that. You know what I'm saying? Generally speaking, of course, there's always that fucking guy out there who's gonna do crazy shit.
I don't know. You got to tell me how you view it, because me being on the inside, I can't tell you. I need someone from the outside looking in to tell me if that fits the description. Because for me, I give Marilyn everything that she wants, within reasonable means. If I don't have the money for it, or if it's not logically sound, then I'll tell her no, or maybe later, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always keep that in mind, and always, whenever I can, I give her everything that she wants. I never say no to her if it's within my power to. Basically, she just looks at it. It's hers.
Yeah.
If I had the money, yeah. But at the same time, she knows that if she ever does anything to displease me, I can shut it off just like that.
Yeah.
In other words, I shower her with everything that she wants, as long as she meets my expectations as a patriarch. I'm not gonna set unreasonable expectations. You gotta be Instagram model, or you gotta be as hot as that, or you have to make me perfect meals every time. I'm not like that either.
No, of course.
Be loyal, communicate with me, do your job as a mother and as a wife, and I'll give you everything that you want. But she knows that if she displeases me, I can shut it off just like that. Yeah. And what do you call it? At the end of the day, I will let her know through my actions by detaching myself from her and like not engaging with her as much as she wants emotionally and all that stuff, which she craves a lot of emotional connection from me. But if she knows that I'm displeased with her, I will not give her that what she craves.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's her dynamic. But not even 90% of the time, I'm always showering her with whatever she wants. It's that 1% that always, I don't want to say keeps her in check, because I don't want to make her sound like she's a pet or an
that's
object.
That's what it is, though, right? At the end of the day, that's what it is. When you're keeping it down to brass tacks, it's keeping her in check.
Keeping her from being spoiled, yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
because she knows I will not give a fuck, and I will definitely cut it all out.
Like at the end of the day, what are men supposed to be in a
providers,
in a
protectors.
And not only that, we're supposed to be guides, right? We're supposed
Guides,
to guide.
yeah.
We're supposed to
spiritually,
protect them.
yeah,
we're supposed to protect them not only from the physical harms, but also from the emotional,
spiritual,
from the spiritual, from the mental harms. You know what I'm saying? Because women are very emotional. They lead with that, right? Generally speaking, right? There's some women obviously, but that's the exception. Generally, women are very emotional. So what do? They lead with that, right? So we're supposed to protect them from that. We're supposed to protect them from the emotional harms and the mental and the that type of stuff. So when you think about it, it's like a man who cares less, right? I feel like as shitty as it might sound, a healthy relationship dynamic is I'm able to leave my girl easier than she's able to leave me. I feel like
in marriage that's a different story.
I mean, it's the same thing in marriage though. Like,
but for me, it's like I can definitely detach and be give the corrective action a lot easier than she is able to receive it. So she as soon as she sees that I'm not happy with her, as soon as she sees that she did something and she messed something up, which again it's extremely rare when we have that. But as soon as she sees that I'm not really fucking with what she's doing, she'll know it. And the thing is that she's always very quick to try to fix it.
To remedy.
Obviously, I'm not always gonna be in the right. I have to apologize too, because sometimes I drag it on a little further than I should. My pride gets in the way.
No, of course.
Not to say that I don't apologize or I'm not in the wrong sometimes, but yeah, that's our dynamic, how it is.
No, of course, and I think like I said, it's like even in a marriage, it's like she cheats on you. To me, like, look, nobody should cheat. I think I have to preface this by saying that cheating is not good, regardless of who does it, of course. But I feel like to a certain degree, it's a little bit of a healthy dynamic for even in a marriage. If a woman cheats on her man, he's able to leave. Like he can leave. Like he'll leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tolerating that shit. But a man cheats on her woman or his woman, it's like it's a lot more difficult for her to leave. She wants to stay so bad, you know what I mean? And she'll have a higher chance of giving that second chance.
Because the guy in the relationship is usually the foundation of everything.
Yeah, of course. And again, I feel like that's what they kind of are talking about. It's like, there's more of like a no bullshit kind of thing with the man versus the woman. If the woman's out here setting the rules for you, she's the one who's setting the standard for you and all this type of shit, then she's obviously the one who cares less than you do, because she's able to leave a lot quicker than you are. If you're not meeting the standard, she's gone. You know what I mean? It's got to be the opposite, because women will tear you down. Women will fuck with you emotionally and mentally. They're very good at manipulation. Very, very good, because they don't have the force equivalency that men do. Men are able to, if we have a problem with each other, I'll beat the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? I'll use my force to overpower you.
Yeah.
Women, they don't have that. So what do they use? They use whatever's
words,
to their
rumors.
Rumors, destroying of public image.
They'll destroy you from the inside.
Yeah, they'll ruin you, manipulate you, ruin you mentally. That's what they use, and they use it very well. They're very good at it. Men, we use force.
Men will drop the sun on you twice and be like, all right, we're cool, all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have a disagreement, well, I'll fucking choke you till you get knocked out. If you win, you're the better man, whatever. And then we make up after, cool. It's fine.
It's such a taboo subject on talking about these dynamics or whatever, because it makes you sound like you're a...
Holy shit, bro. We got to wrap it up.
No, it makes you sound like you're a piece of shit. Like, you're controlling her, and this is not. No, I'm really trying not to sound like I'm a controlling dickhead. That you have to do exactly what I want, or else I'll cut it off. But definitely, I do have that dynamic with her where it's definitely she is a lot more emotionally invested than I am. I'm more invested in the sense that everything that I try to do it with their best interest in mind, even if it's gonna be uncomfortable or very sacrificial for me, because that's my job at the end of the day. If I want the privileges of being able to lead her and our children, I have to have the ability to sacrifice, because a leader's not gonna a leader's not gonna be followed by his men into combat if he's just telling them what to do. If they see that the leader is like the one to eat last, he's the one that sleeps in, puts
their needs before his own, shit like that.
Yeah, puts their needs before his own. If they see that the leader is a sacrificial one, the men will follow you anywhere.
No,
same thing with the head of the household. It's not just a power trip, dude. You have to put yourself at the very bottom to lift them up, and then if you do that, and she's a good woman, she'll follow you anywhere.
Yeah, no, and that's how it goes. That's how it goes. At the end of the day,
In that sense, yes, you got to care more because
Yeah.
that's your responsibility. That's your job.
Men, you even said it yourself. We care less emotionally. We're gonna provide for you. We're gonna give you whatever you want if it's within our means. We're gonna make sure your life is the best it can be. That's logic.
Yep.
Right? Women, it's like, she's gonna like.
The emotional connection.
Yeah,
that's
she needs
what
that
she's
emotional.
gonna- yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how women work. But nonetheless, so we're gonna go back to this.
Yeah.
So Akash, he was saying
That's his wife.
Yeah, this is his fiance.
Oh, fiance.
Or wife or some shit. I don't know.
It says wife
Yeah,
right there,
wife.
so.
I guess we'll just go with that. Again, this is just scratching the surface. Think about this. It gets worse.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. So for context, I went to college from 2011 to 2016. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses. And I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's like, sometimes it like literally hurts my heart. And when the nostalgia is that painful.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this:
And
do you believe her?
Person in the relationship.
What go back to that conversation because I kind of zoned out thinking about how much of a degenerate this chick is.
Yeah, the crazy shit you just heard come out of her.
Yeah.
That painful.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this:
And
do you believe her?
What did he say? What did he say?
My wife
Uh-huh.
hasn't had any sexual partners, so that helps us connect more. And then he goes,
Do you actually believe that you're
I mean,
strong, independent female over here is...
Dude, just imagine, like, listen, man. I'm not going to say that Myron Gaines is right about everything, because obviously not.
But there are a lot of things that do make sense.
Yeah, dude. And when it comes to this, man, I think the whole entire, the whole entire meme of like, oh, this came right back to bite you in the ass, just happened.
I think the problem with Myron is that he
it's the delivery, man.
The delivery not because it's damn, dude, it kind of like comes out wrong because he's not very. He gives it enough direction, enough nuance to be able to get his point across to certain people, but it leaves it vague enough so that people that are easily triggered don't actually have.
I think that's the idea, though. You know?
Yeah,
that's how he gets the content, you know. But
yeah.
All right, let's watch this one and then we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
I don't often find men that measure up to him, and like Nav completely measures up to.
Nav is because this is a podcast that she's in.
Excuse me for being out of touch. I don't really spend time on social media or care about other people's lives like that.
Don't get me wrong. I didn't know about this shit until today, bro. And this shit was crazy. I had to look into it, bro.
So who's Nav?
This girl is Akash's husband or wife. I mean, at this point, she's wearing the pants. So
The same chick from the last video.
Yeah.
Okay.
This girl, she's on a podcast with a co-host. Her
Hey,
co-host
she's
has a
pretty.
husband.
I'm not gonna lie though. She's pretty.
She's a pretty girl, yeah. But she uses that to her advantage. This is what I mean, bro. They're manipulative as fuck. So
They'll
use what they got.
They
and
know,
they'll
yeah.
use it to their advantage. She is the wife of that guy.
Okay.
And she is on a podcast. Her co-host has a husband. That's the guy she's talking about. That's Nav or whatever.
Her co-host husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can find men that measure up to him, and like Nav completely measures up to him, if not more. Can I just say, like, not in a weird way, he's so good looking. Oh, thank you. Would y'all ever have an orgy together?
I don't
with your
wanna-
husband? Priya, I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. No, I kind of like it, but I'm like, us for it? Okay, maybe. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches.
You would only be down for an orgy
or it's thick.
Bro, any female talks like that to Marilyn about me, Marilyn is not having it. This chick is over here laughing.
Even if Marilyn, like, dude, the moment Marilyn says anything about another man being up to par with you or better than you.
No. I'm saying if what do you call it? Another chick was telling Marilyn, your husband, this and that. Marilyn would not be laughing like this. Like, who the fuck are you?
No, but
who the fuck is this guy?
Natalie was saying she might be joking here, but to me, bro, if my wife went on a podcast and joked like that, that is absolutely
disrespectful. That is disrespectful
That's
as hell.
embarrassing as fuck for your husband. Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
You're basically saying your husband is not enough, so you need to have another guy with you to be able to satisfy you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Akash, right?
Akash, yeah.
Akash, he does not look like the type of guy to set rules or.
No,
he
of course
looks like
not,
the type
dude.
of guy
Of
to be.
course
I could be wrong. I could be wrong,
He
but
got with a fine one. I'm not gonna lie, she's very good looking. He got with a woman that's good looking. So what does he do? Bro, I really do not want to lose this fine.
yeah, I gotta give her everything she wants, and this is. She hasn't earned it.
It gets.
She definitely has, and she does not appreciate it.
It gets worse, bro. I'm not gonna go into it because we're gonna be here for a long
You
time.
don't. Yeah.
It gets worse, bro.
You don't feed. You don't give pearls to swine. You don't give pearls to swine. They'll just trample all over it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
If you give all your riches and all that stuff to a woman that is actually gonna appreciate it and actually see beyond that and be like, oh, this man really cares for me, then by all means. But that is not the woman you want to be throwing pearls at.
Do not allow the beauty to blur
The beast.
Dude, you can't, bro. This shit right here is diabolical. And to be honest with you, I'll tell you one thing, man. Guys like that, you hear your wife say that on YouTube, even if she says that shit in private, but whatever. She's doing it on YouTube, bro. The fact that you haven't left that bitch, you low key, bro, deserve that shit, bro. You listen, man. My feel sorry for you level goes from here to here, bro.
Bro, this guy's got like straight up Stockholm syndrome right there.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling.
He got masochist shit. He likes that masochism, bro.
And
that's crazy.
I don't want to speak uncharitably because I don't know the guy, but he definitely seems like he's not what do you call it? The dominant one.
Dude, and this whole
In the
entire
relationship,
clip,
whoever cares less has the leverage, and we want the guy to always care less.
That's
We want the man to.
That's
always
why.
have
That's why he
that.
reacted like that.
And
Probably.
you guys.
That's probably why he reacted like that because he doesn't like what he hears because he knows it's freaking true. So he's denying it.
and he's coming in defense of his wife. That's so childish, bro.
Now,
And you see it come
exactly.
right, bite you in the ass,
like if
bro.
you disagree with it, you could be like, no, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. You know, that's it. I
Yeah,
have my
that's a
view.
little too extreme,
But
you know,
he got annoyed.
Yeah,
he got like, oh, annoyed.
Dude, it's and then it's funny because Andrew Schultz goes, who knows? Maybe in 10 years we'll come back and we'll tell you these guys were right. You know what I mean? No, it didn't even take that long, man. It took you about 3 years to find out these motherfuckers were right.
So where are they at now?
I mean, I don't know, bro. This is all I saw. Like I said, I don't really go.
You don't follow that?
Yeah, I don't really follow their lives, nothing like that. But whenever I see a crazy story like this, same thing that happened with Steph Curry. Steph Curry, his wife was on a talk show. On TV.
No, yeah, I saw
right?
that part. Yeah, because
some dude came in shirtless. She took off her ring and shit.
Oh, I didn't see that
No,
part.
that.
But Marilyn was telling me about did you hear how she was talking shit about Steph
That's
Curry
it,
that she just wants to she regrets being a wife so early, this and that.
It was his idea. He forced
And
me
then
into
Marilyn
it.
was like, she's basically saying she wanted to hold around
Yeah.
before she settled down.
It's such, bro, the audacity of a bitch like that to say, oh, he's the one who's
Who's holding me down,
you, the luckiest and most
takes-
successful thing you've ever done in your life is marry that man, bro.
And it takes two to tango, bro. You could have said no.
Yeah. But you knew what it was, though.
Oh, that bag is guaranteed.
you knew
So
what it
I'd
was,
rather
yeah.
have that than what do you call it? Than go find myself.
You knew what it was, bro. And listen, like I said, the most successful thing that bitch ever did with her life is marry that guy, bro.
Or like Will Smith and Jada Smith, bro. The only reason why that bitch has anything is because Will Smith provided her. Yeah, he
Michelle
gave
Obama to Barack Obama. The only reason why she's even fucking relevant is because he was president.
Yeah,
that's it. Because of her husband, bro. Like, it's the audacity of
And
some of
they-
these women, man.
and they want more. It's never enough. That's why we're stuck in this freaking world of sin because it wasn't enough for Eve.
Wasn't enough for Eve.
That's
man.
all I gotta say.
And then it was a fucking simp Adam who had to fucking follow her into the.
Oh
abyss.
yeah, I'll eat the fruit for you.
Yeah,
with
no.
you.
You think it's good? I'll try it.
And then instead of manning up and admitting to God, hey yo, I fucked up. No, this woman you gave to me.
Or bro, be a teacher's pet. Be a narc, bro. She's eating the apple. She's eating the apple.
I need a replacement over here. This
Dude,
one is effective.
She did not come for me. This rib, I promise you, she's eating the apple, bro. Come on, man.
You got the bad rib.
We really for real, bro. You got my left rib. I told you to get the right one, man.
You got the short ribs, bro.
Dude, you could have gotten Eva, not Eve. Come on, man. But no, it's this man had to be a simp. And listen, it goes to show from Genesis, the simp is the reason we're in this fucking position, bro. All right.
The simp and the greedy bitch.
Yeah, don't be a greedy bitch. Don't be a simp. All right. Don't do that. Don't do that shit. What was the most perfect creation? Mary, right? What was she?
Our
a
lady.
submissive woman. She was submissive to the Lord. Be submissive, women. And then what was Jesus? He was the Redeemer. He was the one who sacrificed himself. Sacrifice yourself, men, for your wives. All right, but make sure they're good. Don't make sure they're not like this bitch. All right, please.
And that's why Our Lady is greater than the devil himself.
100%.
She could destroy him with the lift of
He
a
fears
freaking
her.
finger.
He
Why?
fears
Because
her.
she was submissive to the truth, as we all should be.
100%.
And he was too prideful, and he had to go. Oh, I gotta go find myself. Therefore, I'm not gonna serve the plan. God. That's why the devil is the biggest female out there.
The devil manipulates the devil manipulates like a female, man.
Bro, the devil manipulates like freaking Jada Smith over here.
Jada Pinkett Smith, man. Not only Jada Pinkett Smith, but also this bitch right here, Akash's fucking wife. But no, like I said, it gets worse. But we're not gonna get into that.
Just talking shit, just talking shit towards the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, so women. W. Tell me we're not based, guys. Come on. Anyways, all right. So with that being said, thank you so very much for watching. This was a very good episode. We went on for a long time, so that goes to show. Listen, I told this to Rob Noor as well because we went on for a while as well with him. A good way to tell whether the show is good or not, or at the very least the conversations were good or not, is how long the damn show was. If the show was long, that's how you know there was a good conversation to have. At the very least, when it comes to the CatFiveBoys podcast, from what I've experienced, the show is short. It's because those motherfuckers were absolutely boring. But nonetheless, again, thank you so very much for watching. We appreciate it very, very much. Again, you could have been doing anything else at this very moment in time. You could be listening to anybody else, but you chose to stay here with me.
And kill your brain cells with the both of us,
yes,
dumbasses.
Exactly. Kill your brain cells. At the very least, maybe stimulate a little bit of the brain cells with me and my brother here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Drop comments. All the good stuff. Besides that, I don't know if you want to say any final things about anything we talked about today. Anything about the show, anything at all before we close it out?
Well, I tried to be as charitable as possible, but obviously I'm still a shitty person, so I'm still gonna come out as a hypocrite. I'm gonna speak like, oh, I believe in God, and then speak shit. It happens.
The misogynist.
It's a work in progress. But no, I just want to say, go to your local parish, your local Roman Catholic parish, or at the very least Orthodox parish. Go ask for confession.
Stick to the Catholics.
Ideally, freaking ask for confession and attend mass. Your local Catholic or Orthodox parish. All right, go for it.
Speak to a priest as well.
Speak to a priest. Yeah, tell him, hey, look, this random dude on YouTube. He gave me the sign that God was reaching out to me or whatever.
I'm just curious,
I'm just curious. Yeah, what's this like?
Yeah.
Just go to confession, go to mass, your local Catholic or Orthodox church. And that's all I gotta say.
That's what it is. That's what it is right there. That's what it's all about. All right. So do that. All right. I approve this message. All right. So again, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you for spending your time with us. It's I don't take it for granted whatsoever. Every second you spend with me is a blessing. So I appreciate very, very much for blessing me. Disclaimer: the views expressed on the CatFiveBoys podcast by the individual guests do not necessarily reflect the views of the CatFiveBoys podcast. Further disclaimer: the topics we speak on during the show can sometimes get a little bit sensitive, a little bit dark, a little bit depressing. If that's not your thing, maybe this isn't the show for you, but you can go watch some Coco Melon or Bluey or something. Although Bluey can get a little bit deep at times, but nonetheless, Coco Melon for sure, 100%. That's your show. So, maybe that will make you laugh, give you some giggles. So we have clips. If you can't catch the full shows, this one was about 3 hours long. So if you can't catch the full 3 hours of the show, and you want to get some of the best bits of our episodes, we have clips for that. We have clips on TikTok, we have clips on Instagram, and we have here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we have on YouTube Shorts clips as well, so you can go check that out. Check that out. Drop comments. We love the comments 100%. We have, if you want to be a guest on the show, we would love to have you on. Just DM us on Instagram at CatFiveBoys. If you have any sort of gripes with something I believe, maybe you disagree with the fact that I don't think women should be able to vote, or maybe you disagree with some other people from the show. We had guests on before. Maybe you disagree with something he said. Maybe you disagree with something a previous guest said, and you want to debate them. We'll try to set that up for you, and we'll get the debates going on here. We've had one CatFiveBoys debate. We want to do more. So you have any disagreements with any other of the guests, we'll try to schedule that for you guys as well. If you just want to come on and have a conversation about something cool going on in your life, I'd be more than open for that too. So again, just send me a DM on Instagram at CatFiveBoys with your name and kind of a little bit of an overview of what what you want to speak on, and we'll get you on the show as soon as possible. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Drop us a 5-star rating on Spotify, please, and on Apple Podcasts as well. Again, I'm starving out here, man. I'm starving. So, like, comment. We love the comments as well. If you want to drop any hate comments, I love that too, man. You want to tell me I'm a fat fuck who, needs to hit to the gym. I do need to hit to the gym. Okay. And I know that, but I guess for now I can capitalize on my fatness by having you engage in the comments. So, if you want to do that, that's awesome. I stream on Twitch every single Saturday at 6 p.m. I try to get on that. We go on TikTok Invasion, so we go on different lives on TikTok. People chatting a bunch of crazy shit, and we absolutely demolish their belief systems. We destroy their belief systems, and we replace it with something much, much better. And it's a good time. It's a fun time, and we play some games there as well. So if you guys want to go check that out, that's every single Saturday at 6 p.m. On Twitch. The link to that will be in the description down below, so you guys can go check that out. We have a merch store. I don't like to call it merch because it seems like it diminishes the importance of it, but I'll call it that for the sake of the show, and there's lack of a better term. But we do sell rosaries. We have a rosary shop. If you guys want to go check that out, the store is not fully packed yet. We want to kind of try out some products first before we start packing the store with more things. But if you guys want to go check it out, even if you just give it an overview, that would be greatly appreciated. You guys want to buy something that's even, it's just a great blessing. All right, so hopefully you guys like the stuff over there. Give any feedback that you want as well about the stuff on the store as well. Shout out to my brother Cruz for coming on the show. It was a great time, great conversations, and we really appreciate it very, very much. With that being said, thank you so very much for watching once again. Have a great night, and God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you.
You guys might not like.
Oh, wrong thing. Sorry.